Good afternoon, everyone. Jeff Pistola and the Hills Footy Media Team welcoming you to today's edition of the Call of the World. Well, spring has sprung, which means Hills Football League finals, and Matt the Roadie has made the long journey west to park the Dreammaker here at Stollet Oval in Blackwood, perhaps commonly known as Windy Hill, for the Division 1 A grade qualifying final. Wonderful for you to join us on our worldwide stream, which once again is made possible by our wonderful broadcast partners, Sports Interactive, Dartfish, Mortgage Choice, Jarrett, Nissan, Adelaide Star Buses, Business Plaza and Chris Shaw Accounting. And also a big online welcome to those listening today at Lofty Media. Trust you enjoy our call. Well, very much looking forward to this, a neighbouring derby, or derby as such, as Lobethal take on Onka Valley for the opening round of Division 1 finals. Lobethal, the big improver this season, having climbed from 8th spot to 2nd place, while last season's grand finalists, the Valley Bulldogs, finished up in 3rd spot, just a point behind. So all set for an enthralling battle to see who earns the right to challenge minor Premier Harndorf next Saturday in the second semi-final. And of course, a big game requires a big cast, and we have it all covered, the Savo and the Hills Footy Media Team, as we welcome the manager, Rob Sherwood, fresh from burning the courses down south. G'day, Rob.
G'day, Pistols, Goldie, Colo and the boys. How are we all? Looking forward to today. And just before we go too much further, Pistols, just a really big thank you to Blackwood Footy Club. We have a cracker of a position on the wing in between the coaches' boxes, and fair dinkum, these guys could not do enough to help us out. So it really, really is appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all endorse those sorts. So thanks to the Blackwood Football Club, Chris Winchester, the president, Benny Kurnish and all the crowd for certainly making us feel at home. And of course, the spiritual presence of Benny Goldfinch is also back after a week's R&R. G'day, Ben.
Yes, Pistols, great to be here, and we are right near Lobethal, currently warming up, literally, well, a stone's throw away to our left here. So, as Rob said, we're basically out in the middle of the oval here. It's a great position.
Yeah, fantastic position, and also good to have this man back, the boundary rider, and I reckon we're only a good, Shane Collins stab pass away from the boundary line here as we welcome the great man who's probably got more than a passing interest in this match. As I said, the Baron of Balhanna, Shane Collins. G'day, mate.
Pistols, how good's this? Finals footy. I'm just getting the boots tied up here with that. We're right on the ground. I'm out here. I'm just going to join into Lobie's warm-up, actually. But how good's this, mate? Finals footy. It's come around pretty quick. But here we are today, and Oval's in perfect condition, and we're ready to go for a big game between these two clubs with a long, rich history of tradition against each other. So really looking forward to a great game today.
And also we've got Jaden. There's the first one for that.
That's all right.
Jaden J. Hill,
Triple
and
J.
Indy will be here. We'll get down to them shortly, guys, and no doubt they'll be bringing the stats that matter. But as you said, Shane, big game here this afternoon. Finals, good weather. You can almost feel the players step up, a bit more length in their strides, etc. Finals fever. But what we might do quickly is just pass over the sides who didn't make the finals in the final wash-up as we look at the premiership tables. It finished Harndorf on top, because undefeated with 16, Lobie with 12, Onka Valley with 11, and we had Mount Barker 9, Blackwood with 8, Mount Lofty 6, Nan Bremer 6, Uradla 4, and Achunga, who unfortunately didn't salute the judge throughout the season. So pretty close competition. You take Harndorf out the equation, of course, guys, but yeah, just looking at the 4 who didn't make it. So Mount Lofty, you were there last week, Shane. They had the opportunity, they had to win to make the finals, but really was a disappointing effort in the end.
Yeah, it was. They will certainly, they had a couple of really good games during the year, but, playing for their life last Saturday, I would have expected, and I think many Mount Lofty people would have expected a better effort than what they gave for their last game of the year. So slightly disappointing finish to the season there. We've commented a lot on Nan Bremer's improvement. Fantastic for them to get the win over the Lobie Tigers last week. That was nearly a final win for them. And when you look at those bottom 4 sides, probably the elephant in the room, if you like, is Uradla Football Club. That's the first time in some 19 years that they've missed playing finals footy. So that's probably the standout for me in that bottom 4. And obviously, Achunga, we did think that they would come back to the pack a little bit, but the drop off has probably been a little bit higher than certainly I expected, but many probably within the competition. But yeah, I think it's not too far off what we probably would have predicted at the start of the year, give or take maybe Uradla.
And Robbie Shearer, we've talked about the season, the improvement over the season, because Nan Bremer, because last week we saw them defeat Lobethal, because Lobethal are finishing second. So Nan Bremer, with that victory, took them to 3 wins for the season, surpassing the 2 they had last year. Of course, a shortened season this year, so maybe they were robbed of a couple of other scalps. Who knows, might have even made a serious challenge for the 5. But they're under 18s finishing on top in that, that great competition that they have shown in the 18s. So plenty to like.
Mate, and for talking to Lackers yesterday, and they lost to Barker by 10 points, I think, the week before, and they lost another goal by less than a goal. So, and they got to within 10 points of Onkas, I think it was, Shane. So
Yeah, that's right.
Look, they had a really good season, I think, and they started on the back foot, remember, too. They had the bye in the first round, which made it really hard. So they basically started the season a week later. So, no, it's good. I think they were happy overall.
There's certainly enough signs there to say that they're on the right path, isn't it?
Yep.
There's we're not just talking about A grade on field. We're talking about 18s. We're talking about off field. A lot of things that the Rams are doing is very good and very exciting for their future.
And I think there's 16s played today and just lost the qualifier, so they're
another chance.
Yeah,
Doing a fantastic job. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think justifiably, in talking to a few of their Nan boys last week after the game, they really enjoyed the opportunity to come back into Division 1 footy. They know it's for their club. They can see it's the best future pattern for them. A few rumours around the rumour mill during the week that perhaps there might be a couple of other clubs, one in particular perhaps putting their hand up to get into Division 1 ranks.
One.
So.
I'm very interested in that. News to me
Bridgewater,
there.
Yeah, young Bridgie.
Is that right? The Raiders are looking to...
Sammy Miles to coach, Colo.
Oh, geez, you're throwing them out today. I've missed all this mail.
Apparently this
I've been asleep in Woodside.
Apparently this is fact.
Is it?
So,
Well, you're not slumming it down in the chalet at Vector Harbour now,
Well,
Shane.
yeah.
You've got to get out and... you're the newsbreaker, the boundary rider.
Well, come on, mate.
Hey, look, I'm all for those clubs that want to take the next step, and it's, the thing for me is as long as they do it the right way. Nan have done it the right way. Full credit to them. And there's been some other clubs that have come in over the past 10 years that probably haven't done it the right way.
Yep.
One of them's sadly close to now extinction.
Yep.
And that's not what we want. The clubs need to come in and do it the right way. If you can use the model that the Nan football clubs used, I think you can be on a positive train, which will give you a really strong future back in Div 1.
And I think Bridgie had a meeting Monday night, and the members voted unanimously to go back to Div 1.
But I think one of the reasons, as you touched on, Shane, okay, you might struggle a bit at A grade level and build up to it, but I think the major thing, and it's always the future of your club, is the juniors.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but country division junior competitions in big strife. If you lose, the Raiders go up from this year, like there was one grade had 4 teams, so then you're down to 3. You talked about, I know one of your pet loves the combined 18s competition, Shane, but you could have combined all throughout the junior grades because the Div 2 clubs, unfortunately, the population base is not there to supply those junior age teams, Shane.
Well, that'd be it for me if they did that. I just think it's shown this year it is the wrong thing to do. I know that we're talking about the fact that they're struggling to get numbers, but you can't punish the clubs that are doing the right things, and that's what's happened this year, sadly. And I'm sure the HFL are all over this, and they're talking about it, they're looking into it, but there has to be, they've got to, and hats off, you've got to try things, but this just hasn't worked. And, going forward next year, they've got to try and rejuvenate that Division 2 junior competition. Maybe change a few things up with that. But, and I was only talking last night with a few guys at Onkas, I think like next year in the under... I think it's 14s or 16s. I think we're going to have like 40-odd players in one of that age group. So, there might be some clubs out there that can put a second side in that country division, and actually help it, carry some weight. So, but I just wouldn't like to see it again where the actual teams in Div 1 that are doing the right things are punished.
Your thoughts on it, Benny, and while you're at it, how do people get involved today?
That's what I focus on right here.
Busy on Nuffbook, isn't he? Look at him go.
Okay, so we've got a few different links today. We're on hillsfooty.com. You go to the main page there and you've got the qualifying final live match broadcast. Just click on that link and that'll take you to the YouTube feed. And then also the incredible Dallas has set up the return of Facebook Live, so we can get the banter going as well on YouTube, but also Facebook today. So you go.
I like it.
You go to the Hills Football League Facebook page, and then just click on the Hills Football League live thread there.
And we want shout-outs, don't we?
Yeah, we want
And it's
shout-outs.
We want to know where people are listening in and watching in
it's
from.
all also being streamed nationally on a product called Clutch TV.
Clutch TV.
Clutch.
To,
Sounds
which
like
is
pistols. Clutch. He's clutch.
He was in the clutch yesterday. He bought flowers for the bride. Speaking
please.
of
I thought you were looking at
Hey.
it's more like clutching at straws when you follow Collingwood.
Yeah,
but,
You had the foot on the clutch.
Good on you, Robbie. Thanks for that.
Clutch is something Johnny Douglas is working, or someone John Douglas at Dartfish is working with.
Fantastic.
And they've actually accepted us, and we're going out on a national streaming service.
Excellent.
So it's just another avenue of promoting Hills footy.
It's a beautiful afternoon here at Windy Hill. I know last time we were here, boys, it was a little bit...
Beautiful conditions.
but we're in just about in the last 2 minutes of the reserves qualifying final. It's going to be a win here for Harndorf. They lead at the moment.
Pies are
8-10
home
to
here, aren't they?
8-10 to 4-1. But
Got
good.
the countdown clock.
Yeah, the countdown clock's on here. So, as we said, beautiful conditions, a good crowd in the house.
Yep.
And I suppose they would have been happy, Shane, to all pay the extra $2 to get in the gate for the final.
$2. Wow.
So,
I thought it was
Well,
more
an
than that. But
additional
anyway,
$2.
it's the COVID inflation. That's part of life, isn't it? But I'm sure it's going to a good cause.
Absolutely. So quickly, boys, how do we see it this afternoon? Obviously, Onka's few injuries. Lobie with a few injuries, but they have a couple of changes from last week's side that we saw on the quarter while when Mitchie Weeks assisted us, and thanks very much for Mitchie for last week. Jackie Bampton is back in the side, and also Sean McWaters comes in. Viney is out, which is a bit of a blow to them. So, and for Onka's, Shane?
Yeah, a couple of outs there, a couple of young kids that have been playing well. Young Mitch Cocciolone actually broke his hand before half-time last week, played the game out, and then tried to work Monday, and luckily his boss is Coach Paul Tanner. And,
Is that right?
and
He's
the
a
coach-
carpenter too, is he?
And he said, I've got a sore wrist to Dingo, and Dingo said, well, can you hold this tool or not? You can use the drill, and he couldn't put his hand around it, so Dingo
Wow.
sent him off for X-rays, and unfortunately he's broken his hand pretty badly, so his season's done.
As you
So
said, he's been in pretty good form.
he's had a really good year, young fella. So and young Will Cowling, who only just recently come back from injury, tore a hamstring really bad last week, so he won't play again this year either.
Jake Adcock.
So Jake finally got a scan on a driver that's been giving him a problem, and he's got a 7-centimetre tear in his driving muscles. So he's done for 8 to 10 weeks, so he's gone.
He's gone as well.
So, a few bigger injuries there for the Onkas boys, but a couple of ins today. Lockie Peter comes back into the side. We saw Lockie a couple of weeks ago basically win the game for Onkas against Blackwood late in the game, and Matty Dean comes back after missing one game. So, yes, a couple of ins and outs there for both sides, but it'll be a fantastic game ahead.
And the final signs just concluded the Magoos qualifying final, and Harndorf emphatic fashion 9-10 have defeated Blackwood 4-1. So the Magpies march on, and which would be good for their senior side, who of course are waiting for the winner of today's A-grade qualifying final, the minor premiers. And without further ado, I think we might go down and say good afternoon to the Stats boys in Jaden J. Hill and the 500 man, the toe cutter, Indy Rogers. G'day boys, welcome.
Well, I got to say, welcome, guys. I think this is a great way to kick off the final series between two sides that have really impressed me this year. And also, once again, we've seen them quite a few times already from the perspective of HFL media. Plenty of games with Onkas and Lobethal playing in them. And our last match was, of course, Lobethal and Nan. I've been really impressed with the way these two teams play, but they actually play in differing ways. So I think that'll make today's matchup really interesting. I've learned that Lobethal, they play a little bit bruise-free, but they're very crisp with their ball use. They love to take it through the corridor and hit targets out with nice sharp boots. And Onkas, well, they like to get first use of the ball and grind out the field to get better ground advantage. So they play different types of game plans, but I'm still really interested to see how the matchup lands out today, I guess. And of course, I'll be tracking Onkas with Tim Weber and Sam Cipriano, the two key players to keep an eye out for. Very impressive names from Onkas. But what about you, Jaden? What have you spotted from Lobethal, the team you'll be tracking today, and also some context to add to the match with some stats?
Cheers, Indy. Pistol boys, great to be here today. Blackwood is a bit more sunnier than it was last time, so that's good to see. So yeah, these sides head-to-head, Onkas and Lobethal. Onkas 12 to Lobethal 10, and they've never played a final since 2010 against each other. So I'm really looking forward to this contest. Qualifying final since 2010. So yeah, the margin has been 22 points in the qualifying final. So hopefully it's a bit closer than that, and I reckon it will be with both teams venturing in some close ones. 13 points the last one, and 12 points in round 13 2019, which we ended up calling that day at Lobethal as well. So hopefully we've got a close one, boys, and yeah, I've been very impressed with Lobethal this year, and they just unfortunately couldn't get over the line last week, but hopefully they can play some better football this week, and hopefully it's a close game, Pistols.
Good on you, boys. Thanks very much for your input there. And, well, the man out and about in the centre of the ground, we'll go out to him now, as Shane Collins.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Hopefully you've got me all good, loud and clear there. Beautiful out here in the middle of Blackwood Oval. Ground's in really good condition. We had a lot of rain, obviously, through the state only a couple of weeks ago, but this has come through fantastically well. No wind to speak of. Obviously, the natural slope of the downhill kick would be the preferred option early. Where I'm standing right now, this is where this game will be won today. This is where I feel it'll be won. Weber versus the pig, Riley from Lobethal. Fantastic contest between those two in the middle. Viney's a big out for Lobethal. Who fills that void? Bampton coming back into the side, no doubt will go into their midfield. But does that mean a Nitschke or a Jenkin has to go into the midfield and take that role? Only time will tell. But Onka's midfield, we see Johnny Greenslade. You know, Greenslade versus Bampton. What a fantastic contest that'll be. And obviously in the rucks, Dan Scholl, one of the quality ruckmen of the competition. He's up against a barrage of tools today. Voigt, Brady Dorr, even Big Jack, if he gets in there at all in the middle. So I can see that this is the area of the ground that will be where the game will be won and lost. It'll be hot in here, and the outside runners for both teams, they'll need to be zipping up and down these wings and getting those forward entries. But I'm really looking forward to the contest in the middle of the ground. I think that's where the game will be won. Onkas have got a little bit of depth there now that they didn't have early in the year. Coach Paul Tanner's done a really good job in generating some depth there, and the players like Andy Vines, going through there. Tom Mayo, Tom Mayo kicked 7 last week as a forward, but him through the midfield, they lose nothing. But Lobethal's strength's going to be their tools. It's going to be a challenge. Braden Fisher up forward, Brady Dorr now playing for them, obviously Big Jack at full forward. It's going to be a really interesting contest, but really looking forward to it. Beautiful day, great finals footy weather, and certainly if you don't get a kick today, you're probably time to hang them up. But we're not too far away from the toss of the coin, but I might cross back to you boys in the Dreammaker, and we'll be back with this first bounce very soon.
Thank you very much there to Shane Collins. And obviously when Colo was giving us that astute assessment, Goldie, he did actually miss the toss of the coin, which was beyond, I think, Braden Fisher won it.
Kicking towards the
railway in down the slope, I
scoreboard
guess.
sort of area.
Yeah. Any significant wind advantage out there today, Shane?
No, there's no real wind to speak of at all, mate.
We were just saying as you were talking to us that the toss was taken and the Tigers won it and are going down.
Oh, beautiful. All happened behind my back. There you go. So, story of my life. But no, that's a bit, well, that's an interesting toss to win because, generally momentum, don't know whether it's a myth or not, but here at Blackwood, it's always better to be kicking down the hill early and trying to get some scoreboard pressure on. So I'll be really interested to see how Lobethal's midfield goes today. Viney coming out for me puts a big question mark. And is it Turpin? Is it Luke Nitschke or a Tim Jenkins that goes through there? Obviously, Coach Fuller might stand up and do that role. He's been playing really well of late as well. So really looking forward to this.
Bit of an interesting stat here, boys. Lobie, over the course of this season, actually scored 13 goals more, but Onka's defence conceded 10 goals less. And in fact, the Tigers had the 4th worst defence in the comp, and the Dogs had the 2nd best. And of course, the only time they played was back in round 1, 13-point win to the Tigers.
Oh, that's
on the occasion.
Perfect tale of the tape. I think they're there, Jeffrey. Onka's their big struggle point this year has been kicking enough goals. With the demise of Adcock late in the year, it's been really difficult for them to get scoreboard pressure on the board. Obviously, we said Tom Mayo last week was 7, but a small forward line Onkas will go with. Big Terry Sleep will start down there as a tall ruck, but outside of that, they do rely on their defence. So it'll be interesting to see if Onka's defence can hold the tools of Lobethal.
So all in readiness here in the Core of the Wild, Hills Football League qualifying final for 2020. Trust you enjoy our coverage here on hillsfooty.com. So underway, umpire Mick Taylor did his 600th last week, so all the best to him. So up they go. It'll be Voigt versus Shell. First bounce comes down there. Fumble there, first clearance out for the Dogs. Taken out of Jeffries, gets the first kick of the game for the Dogs. Bounce out towards the outer side wing, leading the rest for the ball is Sinnott. Under pressure there from Timmy the Tractor Jenkin. Expect to see those two feature prominently this afternoon. Ball carried over the line for the first.
So that third player we're talking about with the midfield, Ryan King started in the mids. Looks like he's gone to Greenslade, so might be a bit of a tag there.
And Lockie Peter starting forward, Colo.
Yeah, full forward for him. Riley Sinnott on Tim Jenkins will be a great matchup across half forward for Onkas as well.
So the ball on the outer side. Perfect conditions here at Blackwood for this qualifying final clash between Onka Valley and Lobethal. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Carissa, I think it is, in his 50th A-grade match. Kicks in inside 50 and a boundary throw-in. So the Dogs inside attacking 50 with an opportunity. Gone 36 seconds here. We've got the scoreboard to our left so we can see how many seconds.
Just quickly at the other end of the ground, Goldie, young Noah Bell, 18-year-old, standing Braden Fisher. Big challenge for him.
Boundary throw-in. Voigt versus Sleep. Voigt won that one down to ground level. Hux is around the action. Here's a chance for Fuller. Handball's out. I think it's King, is it?
Yep.
Kick outside the defensive 50, and it's taken by Nitschke, who was pretty good last week, Pistols.
Absolutely. The experienced Nitschke kicked a telling goal at one stage. So Nitschke drives the ball out wide, the outer wing. Big leap out there was from Skinner, I think it was. Ball comes to the deck. Players come in, stacks over the mill, trying to flow there. Door working hard in there. Close to the line. Finally, it's fed out here. Just as sad about the clip. Play on, says the umpire. So it's Door to kick across here.
Good mark.
Tumbling mark here taken by Pring, I think it is.
Yep.
Pring wastes no time, gets to the Jenkin, who's run up from his defensive position, takes a mark. And he'll go back and first inside 50 movement for the Tigers. Waits to see what's on offer. Tigers kicking up the hill. Then towards Big Jack. Go!
Great
The Big
save.
Oz got his hands up and, can't move him once he's under the ball. So Zach Osborne came into the, he's been carrying a bit of a knee injury all year. Had a little bit of a slight strain with another muscle last week, but he's out there today. So finished second on the goal kicking list, Goldie, with 31 goals, including a bag at 12. So a chance here to get the first on the board in the qualifying final.
Yep. Big Jack finished second in the goal kicking behind Joel Aish, who we'll see tomorrow. Osborne goes back, loves it. Bit of an early cobra, and that's a goal for the Tigers. First on the board here. 2 minutes gone. Tigers 1 goal. Onkas yet to score.
I noticed last week, Shane, he has a bit of an efficient kicking action, doesn't he, Big Jack?
Oh, yeah, he's a quality player. I mean,
Yep.
he's a league premiership player and league ruckman, so his skill level's very good. And speaking of good skill level, Ben Pring was special there in the middle of the ground. That ball was nearly a turnover ball. Chipiana wasn't good enough to bring it to ground, and Pring's then legged his skill by foot to find Timmy Jenkins was excellent. So, well done by Lobethal.
And I've got some comments coming in here for Pistol, so I'll get to those very shortly.
So back in the centre, Voigt against Shell. Got a hand to it. Quick handball out by Webber. Shell getting involved again. Comes to Greenslade, shrugs off an opponent, gets a quick kick away towards half forward. Looming out there reading the ball. Well trapped there.
Lockie Peter.
And Lockie Peter, nearly a little bit of special in his first touch for the game, but just offline for a minor score.
All right, so Scott Andrew, watching from the office at work, he says, go Doggies. Michael Buckley says, g'day boys from New South Wales.
G'day, Bucks. Good man.
Yasmin is tuned in. She's listening to the feed on Lofty. As I said, that's on Lofty, 88.9 today. Ben Scatton, good luck with it, fellas, watching from Kent Town.
Oh, Benny Scadden.
Look, Scads.
He's at the races.
Probably got the race as well.
He would be. Send us a tip, Scads.
Haley Sutton says go to Doggy. She's tuned from Woodside. So as I said, get involved in the feed. Hills Football League Facebook page. We've got the live feed happening there. So all the comments. And in the B grader, it was Harndorf Bucks. So in case you're wondering.
9-10 to 4-1.
There you go.
Big shout out to past Onkas player Nick Smart, who's tuning in from Bendigo as well.
So ball actually came off the Big Dog's head there. Riley goes back in. Webber flicks it out to Greenside. Quick hands here. Comes back to the chip. Tipiana, he's wrapped up in a tackle. So,
Really good pressure early, isn't it? You can tell this is a final. She's hot in the kitchen.
Umpires today, Dennis Raymond, Mick Taylor, Glenn Godfrey.
Plenty of experience there. Goldie, so ruck duel. Big Terry Sleck took the ball out of ruck, gets a quick ball kick forward for the Dogs towards the forward pocket area, bouncing ball. Stafford arrived, but out over the line. So
Boundary umpires Brady Judd, Fletcher Squires, Hayden Napstein and Zach Campbell, and Andrew Holmes and Robin Crompton behind the sticks.
Andrew Holmes actually did the field in the Quarter Wild last week. Probably got a promotion. Comes to the Catfish. Vines tries to shrug off in the end.
Quick on the whistle.
Dennis Raymond is coming in.
I thought he was going to be holding the ball, to be honest. He spun him
Absolutely.
around a couple of times.
So Denny Raymond sets it up. Voigt got the tap down. Quick kick away by Roller with Smother, taken by Greenslade.
Greenslade.
Bang on the boot. I tell you what, this will be a nearly sensational start for them, but through for a minor score. So the Doggies, 2 behinds, trail Lobethal 1 straight. 5 minutes gone here on the Quarter Wild qualifying final.
So Tim Jenkin to bring the ball in for the Tigers. Trainer for the Tigers there, Andrew Froling just heading
Great
up.
Frols. Look at him go. What a star he is.
Demi Jenkin.
I thought it was Usain Bolt out there.
Jenkin to Matty Fuller. Of course, the
I'm not
playing
throwing
coach.
stones, Jeffrey.
So Fuller looking up. Bampton, good to see him back in the lineup today after having a go on the show last week, Pistols, at half-time. Had a bit of a chat with Giorgio. That was good chat. In the meantime, kick out towards young Cooper Luke, who's one of the talented players in the comp.
Yeah, like him, Benny. Like him.
On the wing usually. So just looking up the outer side wing. He goes with a nice pass towards centre wing. Big timber down there. One of them was Brady Dorr. Good to see him in the lineup for the Tigers today. Played about a quarter and a half last week. Meantime, bit of a squirt up the line. Oh, good tackle. Bit of pressure early here in this one, Pistols, and it's gone out towards the boundary line. So boundary's throwing outer side, bit of push and shove. 6 minutes gone. Lobethal 1 goal. Onka's 2 points.
Nitschke with a bit of the old don't argue tactics there. But anyway, Voigt and Shell to do battle once again. Voigt in the long sleeves for the Tigers. Got his hands to the ball down in front of the pack. Comes out to Nitschke. Got out to Bampton. Oh, he's taken the ground. But it's out here. I think it's Cooper Luke bursting through. Lifts the eyes. Puts it forward to Hopgood. Good spoil from behind by the Dogs. Ball flicked out here towards Chipiana. Gets to the run of a teammate. Takes that towards the wing area. Lockie Peter infringed there, I think you'll find. I think that was McWaters infringing. So Lockie Peter, of course, the reigning Division 2 medalist last year at Kersburg, will take free kick for the Dogs on the wing.
So Lockie Peter, bit of a match winner against Blackwood. Last time we saw him for the Call of the Wild match. Mayo was involved over the top. Chance for the Tigers to clear the ball outside of the defensive 50. McWaters was the intended target. Peter collected some early touches. His low pass is chopped off, and the Tigers will look to counter-attack through Jack Stafford. Pistols, who finds the big man in Henry Voigt.
Yeah, Stafford, another one of the youngsters in the Tigers outfit, chips the ball up and finds Cooper Luke, who's had a couple of touches already in this opening term. So Luke, half-back flank area. Tigers working towards the clubhouse end of the Blackwood Oval. Goes out wide towards the winger as Shell looms over the top. Ball comes down. In the meantime, a free kick has been paid. Looks like it's going to be Brady Dorr, so the former Nord half-forward premiership player would take a free kick. Had a injury-plagued season, Brady Dorr, but hopefully he can get the job done when it counts in the major rounds. And, of course, qualifying final today. Sets a high ball. Fisher's a target. Onka's bring the ball down in front. Pack forms, close to the boundary line, is it? The Academy boy looming, but then finally a quick kick away.
Jack
Tigers. Here's Jack Osborne looming out. He's got Fanning. Osborne, can he trap it? He got his hands to it. He's got underground handball out to Jenk, and the tractor, will he get it? He's under pressure there from Ben Jeffries, close to the boundary line. Held up there. Academy boy lurking, can't be over the boundary line in the end.
Great contest.
Yep. In the end, umpire Mick Taylor will come in and bowl it up perilously close to the line, I'd suggest.
Yep.
And just round from the Lobethal goals. They lead 1 straight. Dogs are 2 behinds.
So ball up. Dangerous position here for the Tigers. What they can do, chip. Chipiana goes back to Damien Green, works it out to Greenslade. He goes back to the chip, who was wrapping up the touches last week apparently against Mount Lofty, but that's chopped out by Lobethal's coach and Fuller. Centering ball, dangerous position. Sinnott kicked 4 goals last week down the other end with that play. Good pressure, but umpire says it's in the back, so the Tigers will have an opportunity here through Aiden Riley, is it?
Yep.
To kick the ball inside 50 here for the Tigers. Who's he got? Well, he's gone the big man. Osborne, good work from the Dogs. brought it to ground level. Fisher's wrapped up in the tackle, so dangerous position.
I tell you what, Colin, I don't want to get sucked into. The Dogs had about 2 or 3 flying in against Big Jack.
Yeah.
The crummers for Lobethal, the
100%.
unmanned.
And you just got to be careful not getting sucked into all. Riley was very, very smart at that contest there. Aidan Riley, I mean, not Riley Sinnott.
Ball flicked out here. First to meet be Cooper Luke. Tries to control the ball, but in the end, over the
I really like the
boundary
way
line.
Lobethal have settled early. They've actually been quite controlled. Jack Stafford twice down the back lines really settled the team down and got a couple of good intercepts there. So Lobethal have settled the better, I feel.
So ball pitched in. Shell in front, double-handed. In fact, grabbed it, loses control. Here's a chance here, bursting through.
Cooper Luke.
Cooper Luke could be something special, but no, just slewed through for a minor score. But Tigers 1-1, leading Onka Valley 2 behinds. We'll go down to Jaden Indy for some early stats, boys.
Thanks, Pistol. So, yeah, 19 kicks already for Lobethal as well, and they've also had 10 marks. So they're getting on top of the Onkas early a little bit here. Indy?
Yeah, I'm liking Onka's pressure at the moment. Already 12 tackles and 12 kicks as well. So I think maybe just a little cleaner in the air. They've had that trouble in a couple games we've seen this year. They've struggled to hit targets up forward. But again, the pressure's at least kept them in the contest. And, well, Lobethal don't play with a lot of pressure. We know that. So they've just got to be a little bit more composed. And we could see here something's about to build up.
Lockie Peter, lovely pass. Dropped, though, by Sinnott. What's he do here? He dribbles it through for a minor score. So the Dogs went end-to-end there. And Kuiper involved, and also Peter.
Yeah, really disappointing finish there. Sinnott could have taken a chest mark there, 5 out dead in front. They're the little half chances you can't afford to throw away in this time of the footy season.
Looks like a double change coming here for the Tigers. Cooper Skinner looks like he's coming on along with Jake Ulrich. We'll find out who's coming off for the Tigers. Meantime, kick out. Looks like Matt Fuller with the ball. Goes towards teammate there in Dylan Hopgood. Chopped out though, Greenslade centering ball. Well, that's chopped out by Zato. They're on the counter-attack here to Tigers. They love this play. Turpin kick inside 50. The big man, Jack Osborne, is the target. He goes to the quick handball to Turpin. Riley arches the back, has a bounce confidently. Kuiper closes in, but Riley slots it as the Tigers make a double change here. 2 goals won, the Tigers now. Onka's 3 points. So
well done to Big Osborne. We talk about his marking prowess, but twice now he's been too smart for the Onkas players on the ground. So full credit to the Lobethal forward line. They've done a really good job up there and kicked one and handed one off. So well done to Big Jack.
Yeah, good work for the centre. Well, starting with that kick out from the coach to Fuller, so virtually coast to coast.
Poor turnover by Greenslade that inflicted the Lobethal attack then.
Yep. So back in the centre, the Tigers with their nose in front. Said 2-1 to play, 3 points, 12 minutes gone. Qualifying final here on the Call of the Wild. Tries to enjoy it. Little Jack Bampton flicks out a handball out here towards Pring. Well, it's it for him. He's under pressure from Chipiana. Wraps him up. Well, good pressure from the Chip. Ball back here. Looked like it was Cornish getting involved, and also Webber. Finally, the ball ends with Greenslade. Puts it forward for the Dogs. That's a very good mark taken back there by Elliott. It was pretty good last week. He had the job of standing big Das Hurrigan, kept him to 4, but
that's
played pretty well.
Fantastic mark. I'm really liking Lobethal's back half at the moment.
So Elliott, not far out from goals. He relieved the pressure for the Tigers. He'll come towards the broadcast wing. Top spot we have here this afternoon. Up unopposed then was Brady Dorr. And the pass Meadows. Nord Star takes a mark. Undecided what's on offer. He'll go along with that left foot up towards half forward, limbering out his Turpin. It won't carry that far. Oric was involved, but in the end, a good mark taken there for the Dogs by Kuiper. Kuiper chips it across here to the Bilby. Bilby's got a loose man out here. I think it's Quasira. Quasira putting it further forward. Sinnott is the target, but good defensive pressure back there. Oh, Sinnott does it really well and then gets it towards Big Terry. Oh, picks it up like a man half his age. Flicks it back to Sinnott. He's got a loose man in and Vines, but chipping in and taking the mark once again is Fuller. Doing some good work back there at the moment, Collo, the leader.
Yeah, a couple of brain farts by the Onkas as they're entering the forward 50. The competitiveness is there. They've just got to clean up their skill work. So
Nitschke with the kick. Goes out towards the outer side centre wing. Over the top here.
Oh,
chance for Noah Bell. Oh.
Gee, he ducked the chutney there and took it on.
So it looks like it'll be a boundary throw in outer side. 14 minutes gone. Lobethal 2 goals won. Onkas 3 points. Goal kickers so far, Osborne and Riley for the Tigers. Meantime, ball inside the middle of the ground. Oh, ball goes through Fuller. He goes out towards
Great
the outer
kick.
side wing. Here's a chance for Bampton. Got the handball. Kick inside 50. Osborne's the target against a couple of dogs. Good defensive
Fanning.
spoil there by Fanning. Brings
Oh.
it to ground level. Ball's popped out. Here's a chance for the
Great
skipper
goal.
and Fisher. And the Tigers are up and about. They've kicked 3 goals early, and they go to 3 goals 1. 14 minutes gone. Onka's 3 points.
Yeah, some really good work off the on the outer wing there to get that ball forward. And once again, Osborne the target there. Blake Fanning didn't do a bad job bringing it front and square, but some good work and, you know, a crumbing goal to Fisher. That tells you a story about how Lobethal's forward half is working at the moment.
And hello to one of our good friends on Hills Footy Media, Mike Pfeiffer. Of course, the erstwhile Nan Bremer man. Looks like he's enjoying the sitting on the couch,
Oh, he's
watching the
got
game
a
live.
glass of
And
water.
only trouble is, Mike, you have to get up and walk to the fridge, unfortunately, during the afternoon. But trust you're enjoying the coverage here. So, Michael Taylor, umpire, in the middle with the ball. Voigt, Shell. Ball comes down. Meanwhile, he's picked a free kick. It looks like Shell was infringed. So, the Onka Valley ruckman to take the free kick in the middle of Blackwood Oval. Drives it long towards half forward. Lockie
Oh,
Peter
good mark.
just moved in front of McWaters, moved himself brilliantly to take a very good tumbling mark there. So Lockie Peter, the opportunity here to get the first on the board for the Dogs. That's kick 9 for the season, Shane. So
Yeah, he's actually started well too. He's already had 3 or 4 touches here. Certainly a little bit scratchy. Just missed a couple of weeks of training and footy with a bit of a hammy. So I think he showed that his quality over the last few weeks though, while he's been playing at Onkas.
So Peter from outside 50. What's he done with it? Oh, that's no dramas with the hamstring there. That's a lovely kick. 3 goals, 1 Lobethal. Onka's their first goal, 1 goal 3. So they tighten the margin now back to 10 points. Midway through the opening quarter here, qualifying final from Blackwood, as the Tigers look like they're making a change with Huxter coming off and Jack Stafford coming on.
How easy is it to pick the changes? It's fantastic with the bench right in front of us. We're going to catch them all day, but Onkas certainly needed that goal. Free kick to Dan Shell in the ruck, and the good long kick and a fantastic mark to Lockie Peter. So they needed that score, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see Lobethal come back now.
So Brady Dorr having a spill and rucking out Shell. Ball comes down. Taking out their Door involved. Got it out to Riley. Riley flicks a handball out here to King. King back to Riley. Set upon the big tackle by Jag Cornish. Ball held to him, so umpire will come in. Umpire Godfrey will come in and ball it up.
So just in front of us here, Godfrey throws the ball up. Perfect position, right at ground level we are. Here's a chance for Nitschke. Fend off. Goes to Brady Dorr. Sockers it towards centre forward. Jack Bampton was the target. Ball's Turpin. Could go back to Bampton. He's under pressure. A couple of dogs lurking. Nice little pass out or handball to Luke. Back to Turpin. Oh, good pressure from the dogs. Force the ball back. Bampton trying to pick it up. Stafford fresh on the ground. Here's a chance for Bampton. Kicks the ball inside 50. Osborne's obviously the target. 2-on-1. Good work from the Dogs' defence there. And Zach George Dent takes the mark. Good work, Colo, from George Dent there.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job in the back half for Onkas for the last couple of years. Onkas just need to lift the intensity around the footy. Lobethal far too good at the moment.
So George Dent out wide. Shell, a bit of body work off the ball. First to go down was Skinner, and also Riley was in front. So the peg dog busy already. Chips lifts the eyes, puts into a little Jack Baird. 1 grab, 2 grab was taken high there by Webber. No, said the umpire. Suppose it's easy to infringe little Jack high.
Yeah. Gets in and under, doesn't he? Does a fantastic job.
So Godfrey pits it by a bit of push and shove off the ball between Fuller and Cornish. Ball caught in underneath. Umpire Godfrey will come in once again and ball up. That's once again a little bit of push and shove between Fuller and Cornish. 2 hard nuts there. So Godfrey pitches the ball up. Brady Dorr over the top.
tap.
Shell with a knockdown call by Goldie. Muffled kick away by Vines.
Cooper Luke.
Cooper Luke fixed the ball out here. Cornish, good style of attack. Here's his protagonist in Fuller. And he's paid holding the ball. Bit unlucky there. So Fuller on that left foot. The coach puts it high towards Osborne territory. Big Oz gets the hands up. Ball bounces clear. Bampton lurking. Oh, good work.
Oh, the big man at ground level.
Big Jack. Finally, ball comes out here. Round the corner by King. Son of a gun. Just offline, but great pressure there by the
It's
Tigers.
really interesting. Isn't it? Happy for the umpires to play holding the ball, but we've got to also pay the incorrect disposals. So as long as they're consistent with that all day, it'll be a fantastic game.
Double change coming up here for the Tigers once again. Looks like Hopgood and Zato coming on. What's he done here?
50 metres.
Okay. Not sure what that was for, but in the meantime, Jeffries will be taken into the middle of the ground. Well,
Oh, he's got
he
it.
might just keep rolling to the goal square here.
Just almost a
In he
double
goes.
50.
Kick inside 50. Peters down there. Oh, well, that's what...
That was interesting.
Mate,
That's end-to-end.
was that a double 50?
End-to-end footy.
If you love the game that we talk about at AFL, when you get a 50, you just sprint. No one can get in your way.
Yeah,
so
I know,
think
but-
Lobethal were doing the right thing in getting out of the way, but the seas might have parted and there was no one there to stand it.
Well, fellas in there.
Bampton coming off, Hopgood on. And
into the-
meantime, Tommy Mayo kicked 7 goals last week. Colo is lining up for his first today.
16 for the year, Colo. Of course, that bag of 7 last week. So
7
he's in
helps
good,
that.
He's in good form, mate. Nothing wrong with 7 goals, is there, Shane?
No, well, that is true. Good number too. But anyway, another opportunity for him here.
So Mayo at the railway end of the ground.
Lovely.
Lovely drop punt. Splits the centre. So after Lobethal perhaps on top a little
I
bit
know it's
early.
ended up with an Onka's goal, but gee, Lobethal's forward line, once again, they crumb the ball. I see Onka's really putting a lot of pressure on Osborne in the air, but they've got to make sure that they've got the pressure on the ground as well. Lobethal have crumbed really well up there off him and had another shot on goal. That could have been the third for the quarter off of Osborne's work.
So after 3 goals in the opening 14 minutes of the match, Onkas have countered with 2 in the past 5 minutes. So they've clawed back their 2-3 to 3.
Just one thing I'd like to see here too, Jeffrey, if we look at this wing on this side, I'd like to see Chipina closer to his opponent. 3 times it's come out on this wing and he's too far away.
So Terry Sleep, door, ball comes down there, taken out there by Vines. He's dispossessed, he wins the ball back, looks for support, then goes on his own. On the right, puts it out here forward, looking for Webber. Good defensive work there by Pring, spoils the ball. Belby arrives in support. Chips there, your man. This time he gets a bit of space on his own and chips it across and finds Johnny Greenside. Greenside breaks onto the right, goes towards the top of the square. Lurking across, getting his
Mayo.
head. Ball comes down. McWater's under pressure, going for the try line as he gets across here for support. Gets it back to Nitsky. Nitsky with a long handball out wide to the track to Timmy Jenkin. He'll steady, he's got space. Has a bounce as he's pursued by the Belby. Goes out towards the wing area. Out there and finds Joe Zatto.
Fresh on the ground, kicks in the middle of the ground dangerously. Henry Voigt was called into it by Cooper Skinner. Here's a chance for Riley, straight through the middle of Blackwood. Kick inside 50,
That is
lunging,
elite football.
and that's elite football from the Tigers and Dylan Hopgood, who will have a chance here for the Tigers on a 45-degree angle. And Pistols and Colo, we're right behind it here. Perfect spot. Have a look
this
at
is
one.
this will be a fantastic result from great work from Lobethal. We just look at Onka's forward line now. They're just emptying out now. They should have done that 30 seconds ago and clogged up the middle of the ground. But great skill work by the Tigers, and it will probably result in a goal for them.
So 5 for the season for Dylan Hopgood up to this stage. Hasn't drawn it back. In fact, it's still in play close to the line and finally walked over the line there for a minor score. So the Tigers 3-3, Onka Valley 2-3, so one straight kick the difference. Ball comes out here to the Dogs, taken by the slug in green.
Mayo, it's everywhere.
Gives off to the run of Mayo. Oh, he runs into the brick wall off the ball.
Oh.
Chip, he's under
Chip,
big pressure there
Chip.
from Stubborn,
Oh,
holding the ball.
Raymond, high.
Well, a bit high for the Chip. So contrast in hairstyles there as he was tackled by Stafford. So the Chip, he'll go long towards the wing area. Over the top, a good defensive work there by Elliott, who's been pretty handy in defence there for the Tigers.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Lobethal's back half. They're doing a real good job at the moment. Onkas
So-
need to work harder up there, mind
Sally
you.
Fox has messaged in. She says, come on the doggies.
Good on you, Sal.
So
Very
that's on the
hard-working member of the Onka Valley Football Club.
Hills Football League Facebook page. We've got the feed happening today on YouTube and also Facebook, so we can get the banter going, which we love
Getting a
in
change
the
here.
finals.
So the
Change here
Academy
at
boy
Onkas. It looks
falls
like
a bit short, followed up here by Voigt, keeping it from the big man's under pressure.
We're
Oh,
under it
great pressure applied there as Andy Vines here quickly over the line in that contest. It's like he got a knock on the funny bone. He's not very amused by it, and coming on, hopefully he's all right. As
just got a clip on the elbow there.
quick
And
in the change, Tommy Prosser
Tommy
comes on.
Pross
the
comes on. Young Phoenix Lions about to come on for his second game of
So
A-grade football
forward
as
again,
well.
Sleep gets it down, quick handball away from Jenkin, intercepted was Chippiana, runs into a brick wall there in
Ooh.
door, comes back to Jenkin, Chippiana down
That's
at
a
the moment,
great
Osborne! Oh, he dropped that one.
lurking is Turpin,
Ooh.
keeps the ball in front of him, comes out here to Cooper Luke,
Here
sweeping
we go.
handball back here to Oric, didn't know he had it, got time to steady, which he does, and
Jeez,
his shot perhaps
Should've
he
kicked
could have
that
done
one.
a little bit better as called by Goldie, but minor score, so 3-4 plays 2-3
Lots of
Chippiana.
changes here at ground level, Colo. Some players coming on.
Yeah, but Lobethal were really high in the rotations early. And, yeah, as I said, young Phoenix Lions about to come on the ground.
Jeffries kicks the ball in. Intended target there was Bell, tabbling it towards the boundary line. And out of bounds. So Pring and Bampton along with Fuller looking to come on here. Young Lions looking to come on.
While there's
for
only 7
Onkers.
points in this game, boys, geez, there's some things concerning for Onkas. A couple of attacks on the footy there. Coach Paul Tanner wouldn't be happy with in that back half.
Boundary throw in. Voigt grabs it straight out the right, kick inside 50, into the forward pocket. Hopgood versus Bell. Coming in there for support was Kuiper. Trying to get the ball forward was also Turpin. It's a boundary throw in just around from the right point post. So Bampton and Fuller looking to come on here. Also
Mayo
Young
just
Lions.
Mayo
Phoenix
just getting
Lions
up a little
coming
bit gingerly there, boys, from that last contest. And Onka's a few injuries already. Vines off with a bit of an arm injury. So throw in, taken by Dorr. Kick was smothered. Good quick lands by Zach George. Dead. Ball finally fed out of big Terry. Sleep gets out to the chip. High kick just in front of the broadcast fan. Oh, Voigt just shrugged his opponent away. Ball comes down here. Pack settles. And finally we will have a, looks like a ball up as umpire Mike Taylor comes in right in front of Flynn, the cameraman. Sleep. Tap down. Ground level working hard was Bampton. Controls the ball. Over the top of him is Sleep.
All right, so
Ball
we
held
got some
in.
more comments coming in. Nick Thompson says Khan to Tigers. Kevin McKenny says go to Tigers, and young
Big Kev.
and Nick Thompson says Phoenix Lions channeling his brother Mally. So
Ooh, close to the interchange area. Hard attack on the ball by Doc Webber there. Colo on.
And his birthday too, the
Yeah.
Doc's birthday today. He
Is it
told me
so?
26, he said.
So he'd like to
Don't know
have
if that's true.
He'd like to have a qualifying win there. Another hard touch comes to Huckster. Nurses the ball along line to Green. Green under siege. Cleverly got the ball out of the Prosser. Turn gets it back to the birthday boy in Webber. Oh, bit of shimmy work there. Oh, great work by Huckster to smother the ball. Bouncing ball taken by Zatto. Got it out into Oric. Tigers go forward towards half forward. Target up here. Oh, good spoil there by the Donkers defence. Followed up well was Luke. Got quick hands out into Bampton. Turns to go backwards to go forward. Bouncing ball. Green Slade versus Jenkins. And the contest finally ends up still umpire letting it flow, but in the end we'll come in and gee, it's hot in the kitchen, boys.
Lobethal next level with their pressure though. That was wonderful work, great smother. Onka's just not there yet, and that's the difference in the game.
Colo, I'm just thinking here, 20 minutes into a qualifying final, young Lions about to come in the heat of in his second A grade game. It's how does a young player sort of adjust to that sort of tempo?
Obviously last week he just come in to fill a gap, and Coach Paul Tanner was that excited about his mannerisms and the way he played. He was very calm under pressure, so fingers crossed today's not too big for him, and the way he played last week I don't think it will be.
So kick inside 50 for the Tigers. Chop out Mark. Oh, it's gone straight down the throat of Pring. He goes to Cooper Skinner. Kick inside 50 for the Tigers. One-on-one contest. Good work from the Dogs' defence here. Running out of defence. Here's a chance for Chipiana on the left boot. Goes up the wing. Here's Doc Webber. Good mark. Just in front of us here versus Huckster. Kick inside 50. Who's the target? Was a couple down there. Greenslade. I think Scholl's involved. Here's a chance for Greenslade. Clever handball over the top.
Oh.
He was looking for Sinnott. Nice fist out towards the boundary line, and that's quarter time. So Lobethal 3 goals 4. Onka Valley 2 goals 3. So a good quarter of football. Tigers, I think, Pistols kicked the opening 3 goals of the quarter.
They did indeed. Goldie at the 2-minute mark through big Jack Osborne and Riley, 11 minutes, and Fisher, the captain, at 14 minutes. Then Onka's replied in the last part of that term. Lockie Peter getting the first, and Mayo at 19-minute mark. And as you said, had opportunities. They missed a few others, but well, exciting and pretty quick tempo opening term, that's for sure. So we'll, Jaden and Indy will tell us how it unfolded in the scores and the stat sheets. Down to you, boys.
Yeah, we'll start with Onkers because I was really impressed with that pressure from the first quarter. 24 tackles, and particularly Tim Webber. He's playing a different role today. 6 disposals in that first quarter was still really good, but I actually noticed his tackling pressure. 4 tackles for the term was very strong. Same with Chipiana, in fact, 3 tackles and 7 disposals for him. So I really like the inside grunt for Onkers, but again, it's that forward functionality where they're just struggling a bit. For the first 10 minutes of the quarter, they couldn't get a mark next to their name, and when they finally did, they still couldn't take a lot of marks inside 50. Only 1 mark inside 50 for the quarter. Sorry, you got 2 here, but yeah, they picked up a bit of scoring momentum late, just probably needed a bit more forward conveyance, because eventually the inside 50 count evened out in Lobethal's favour, 15-12, and I'd probably say if Onkas seized a few more opportunities, then they'd definitely be just a little bit closer, but the scoreboard does reflect what is a pretty tight game. Jaden, can you tell us anything about Lobethal?
Cheers, Indy. So yeah, 42 kicks, 15 inside 50s there for Lobethal. Pretty even to Onkas of what Indy said. I really liked Tim Jenkins, particularly in the first half of that quarter. He got 5 kicks for that quarter. He was really good. Even like Colo was saying, in that forward half, their pressure focus was really good with Osborne good on ground level and really good by Hopgood and King as well. So, and their back half has held up pretty well as well, Lobethal. So Lobethal averaged 24 points in the first quarter and they got 22, so there's some consistency there. And they actually averaged 15 points again, so, and Onkas are 2, 3, 15, so how about that, eh? So yeah, it should be a good second quarter, I think, and hopefully Lobethal can keep up that pressure. They did have 23 tackles in that quarter, so they did have the pressure, but they did have a lot of the ball as well. And Lobethal haven't won here since round 9, 2016, where they beat Blackwood by 1 point. So there's a stat for you boys.
Well, a long time between drinks for the Tigers over here, and also I think you mentioned pre-match, first time since 2010 that these two traditional rivals have actually played in a major round clash. So yeah, started off in pretty good fashion. The Tigers, of course, finished second on the table, only a point ahead of the Doggies. So as I said, pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, we got some.
So what's happening on?
So yeah, we've got a few different ways of getting involved today. We've got the Hills Football League Facebook page. Just click on the link there, and we've got some good banter going on, which is good. And we've got also the YouTube feed, which we've got some banter going on there. So Cherie Osborne says, "Good afternoon, go Lobethal from Tassie."
Ah, we love Cherie, one of our regulars.
Rose B says, "Come on, Lobie," from Rose from the Lobie under 12s. Nick Smart says, "Fire up Slug," and Ed Smart says, "Doc Webber birthday magic."
Yeah, because it's like Damien Green,
Good
Nick
stuff.
Smart.
We got Colo.
And just wait for Colo, see if he's ready to go. Indeed he is. So news from the huddle, Shane Collins.
Yeah, thanks, Pistols. Really interesting. You know, nothing there that's really surprising. Lobethal, they were congratulating their defensive stuff, the pressure, the smother. We saw that smother late in the quarter from Huckster. They really highlighted things like that. They just mentioned a couple of times they just need to be better in moving the ball forward with cleanliness, which has probably been a bit harsh on them. I thought they actually used the ball quite well, but you know, they were wrapped with their start and very excited about what they've done and put that first quarter in the bank, ready to go for the second quarter. Coach Paul Tanner just grabbed the Onkas boys and just said the first 10 minutes is not good enough. That wasn't good enough for them. We did mention that there was a couple of attacks on the footy and missed tackles. He's highlighted that with the boys and said that they've got to improve in that area. They've had plenty of the ball, turned it over with laziness, and he asked for them to clean it up. So really looking forward to the second quarter. Still no breeze to speak of, beautiful conditions, and we'll see what transpires here.
Fantastic, thanks very much. Shane Collins, our boundary rider, as always, bringing you the latest what's happening.
Right. Giorgio's the drinks man today for the Tigers.
The Squid, out in the boat. Of course, joined us last week at half-time. About 10 days, I reckon, for the hammy, so hopefully he'll be back next week if they get through for this victory. So, just waiting to start the second term here. It's a 7-point margin to the Tigers, 3-4 to 2-3.
Brady Dorr starting in the ruck against Dan Scholl, so this will be good.
Yeah, extra work for Big Dan because Brady a bit taller and with a downhill advantage. So umpire Godfrey holds the ball aloft. Just waiting for the siren. Man, there we are. So we're underway. Second term qualifying final here on the quarter. Wild. Trust you're enjoying a worldwide stream. Ball comes down, taken by Riley. Managed to get the ball out to Netsky. He's taken down with a big tackle applied by Webber. Two ex-Nord players here meeting. So once again, it's like the old Nord Boys Club here this afternoon, boys, when you think of it. So once again, Dole got it down, taken away by Riley. This time got a left foot clearing kick towards half forward, up towards Zaddo territory. Good mark taken back there by another Nord boy in Joffa Jeffries. Waste no time, goes towards the outside
another
wing.
One.
And he's got another Nord boy in Doc Webber. Gave it to the run of Clarissa, I think it is.
Yep.
Nurses the ball
Mayo.
forward. Oh, could be a push in the back.
Oh,
there.
lovely crumbing from
great
Bilby.
grab by the Bilby. And there's a chocolates. Great grab and crumb by Bilby. So in the space of 36 seconds, Colo first on the board.
Yeah, good work by Bilby. That's what they want the Easter Bunny doing, is getting into that forward line fast and really crumbing hard. Well done by Mayo just to get it to ground. But, yeah, good work again. Ben Jeffries, the captain of the side, across half-back, winning that footy. But I've already liked what I'm seeing in that midfield stuff, boys. Brady Dorr twice got Riley. They're going to be, Onka's going to have to be really on top of this midfield battle for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Talking of which, Scholl, Webber, Greenslade in the middle there. Cornish, Riley, Dorr in the middle. So back in the middle, Dorr versus Scholl. Dorr won that one to Riley. happened with the opening tap of the quarter as well. Cornish got a handball away. Here's George Dan, I should say, for the Dogs. Tight footy. Here's a chance for Nitschke. Good smother by George Dan. Good follow-up. Ball's paddling around. Certainly finals intensity here. It started in the second quarter. Nitschke got a handball out. On hands and knees was Riley, and he might have earned a free... Fuller, I should say. So Fuller on that right boot. He can go either right or left. Lovely pass. Taken by... intercepted, though. Webber.
Oh, Brady Doyle, good backup.
Cornish. Over the top. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Pistols through Greenslade.
Greenside sweeps the ball across here. Oh, Cornish. Blindsided, but a big tackle there by Skipper and Fisher. And, Cornish on the blindside. So Fisher plays it on, and the ball gets down into the
really disappointing from the Bulldogs there. They were often through the middle and just failed to find a target on the run and actually execute a kick. And
so Bampton gives it back to the run of Jenkins. We've seen that play many a time. Goldie, the Tractor has a flying shot in the goal square and fisted over the line there for a minor school boy. Kuiper. So
is that the ice cream van?
It could be Mr. Whippy. Could be out the back here, ringing away. I'll see you later, boys. I'll be back in 5.
So Dogs run the ball out and the long kick, bring the ball back in. Contest there, going to ground there. Oh, good work, knocking the ball forward with Sinnott. It's under pressure from Dorr, keeping the ball in front. Well done, Riley Sinnott. Run down, but managed to get his kick. Up here, towards Peter, just works to the front. Mayo, sorry, too good on that occasion for Elliott, I think.
Apparently he kicked 7 goals, 1 last week.
He might have had a visit to the academy last week too, I'll just say, Jeffrey.
Is that right?
Yeah, and set up quite a few others as well, so he's in good form up forward.
He's just a quality young player. He's not even, I'd be probably wrong in me in saying it, I don't know if he's 20 yet. He's quite young and he's got a big future.
So as we said, 16 goals, 17 with one early in the last quarter. So proven goal kicker, as we said. So Tommy Mayo be some 40, 45 metres out. Kicks towards the clubroom end here at Blackwood Oval. I think it's just faded a little bit too wide.
That one that wasn't an academy kick.
No,
we didn't go through that one.
And Nick Smart and Ed Smart just making some comments here on the YouTube.
Good on you, boys. Good to hear from you.
So meanwhile, we go everywhere, as we know, in the quarter. While we can give you a score quarter time in the Great Southern Football League.
Yes.
Only points, but Langhorne Creek, the Hawks, 33 points. Mount Compass yet to get on the board there. Ooh. So the Hawks are looking for a 3rd straight flag, I believe, at the moment down there. So meanwhile, Fuller, coach Lobethal, brings the ball back in. The long kick towards the wing area came off Dorr's hand. Good work there for the Dogs. They rebound, high kick. Looked like it was Kuiper.
Voigt.
Voigt with a big leap. Ball comes out. Big Terry Sleep bustles his way through. Dogs trying to work it forward here. Clear it out. Coming to meet it. Oh, well, good tack by King. Son of the gun. Keeps the ball in front of him out there. He's under pressure there from Clarissa. And finally pushed over the boundary line.
We talk about near misses for Onka's. Ed Smart would be handy in the Onka's midfield right at this stage, but got dragged into state due to work.
Trust he's enjoying himself in Melbourne.
I'm sure he
lots
is.
of fun to be had in Melbourne, I'm sure.
Over the back, dangerous position here. It's within the Dogs' 50 arc. Taken nicely by Timmy Jenkins. Here's that run. Riley, he's set upon lovely by Sinnott. That's a front-on tackle. And the fend-off has resulted in Sinnott earning a free kick. So here's the kick, inside 50. Who have we got down there? We've got Mayo in a one-on-one. Good defensive spoil by Elliott. Ball hits the deck. The Dog's still lurking. Here's a chance for McWalters. Kicks it out towards us. Jeffries could chop it off here. Taking a bit of a right bounce.
Flynn, the cameraman, almost getting a possession
Flynn,
there.
right on the seam.
Right down the lens. It'll be right down the lens, this boundary throw-in you.
Mitchy Weeks has written a comment. He reckons the B-grade lineup are in this week for the calling. I like it, Mitch.
Get on him, Mitchy, as Nitsky takes a long kick up forward. Good defensive work there by Kuiper. Brought the ball to ground. Bouncing ball. Matty Dean getting involved there. Goes to ground, got a handball away. Good work by Jack Andrew Bampton. Gets a little toe poke up the wing. Taken by Zano. Sweeps a handball to the runner. Pring sidesteps.
Lovely.
Tries to line the goals. It goes to the top of the square. Limbringer big Aussie. Loose
Lovely.
ball here. Limbringer's hop. Good, he gathers it. Gets early, right. I tell you what, a comedy of errors has coughed up that goal there, Shane Collins. Finish up by Hopwood.
Well, it's again reiterating what Coach Paul Tanner said, is the intensity. They just can't be missing tackles. So really, how good was Bampton there on that half-forward flank?
Yeah.
That was a 1-on-3 contest, and he was good enough to keep his feet, get the ball out, and give Lobethal an opportunity to get it forward. So well done to him. And look, Lobethal look really dangerous when they get into that forward 50, and they're culminating on putting it on the scoreboard. I'll be interested in the inside 50s when we can get down to the boys soon.
I tell you, that'd bring a smile to Mitchie Weeks' face. His Tigers lead 4-5, Tonka Valley 3-3, so 8-point margin here on the call to Wild.
Yes, here we go. Dennis Raymond will throw the ball up. Brody Dorr versus Shoal in ruck. Who's going to win out here? Riley's been hot around the contest with these early clearances. Taken by Webber. So there we go. The Dogs are inside 50. Peter will fly. Oh, geez. I thought he was going to take another specky like he did last time we saw him. Into the forward pocket area. Taken by Stafford. Cooper Luke involved. Elliott. Bit of a sidestep. Clearing kick outside of the defensive 50. Shoal, one-on-one versus King. Nice mark by Shoal. Off he goes. Kick inside 50 for the Dogs. Centre half forward area over the top. Riley held his ground. Went backwards to Jenkin. Under pressure here, Lobethal. Boyleby kicked the opening goal of this second term. And that bounce has gone left and gone out of bounds.
Yeah, hit the ball behind post. And also Adam Clun getting involved here. Boys starting to look dangerous because Clunny...
the great EJ Clun.
I was going to say unbeaten season as coach down at Peak.
He did. He's had a cracking year.
Inside 50 here for the Dogs. Dangerous position. Weber trying to wrap up Riley. Pring under pressure now. Dogs, opportunity for Vines. Snap round the corner from the Catfish, and Jenkins sees the ball out for the Tigers with Lockie Peter hot in the action there.
Obviously back in business after going off temporarily with a bit of an arm injury in the first term, Andy Vines. So ball back in.
8 points the margin.
From the Academy, Sleep and Voigt doing battle. Ball held up there, King on Weber. So once again, looks like the umpire Taylor will have to get involved. 601 games today for Mickey Taylor. Well done. So ball up, one down there by Voigt, trying to work his way through his Pring. He's wrapped up, finally comes out into the Catfish. Vines in the meantime, I think the whistle is gone, boys.
Taylor to throw, I think, off the tackle.
Yeah,
with,
a legal disposal. So it'll be the slug, Damien Green, to take
just
the
give you a little heads up. Damien Green's right leg's not in great condition. I'll be interested to see what he does here.
Well,
he might even go on the left.
There was that game against Nairn, I think he looked in a little bit of trouble, so he's been carrying it for a while. So
didn't train Thursday
will
night.
he give it off to Joffa? Yes, he does, as Jeffrey sneaks through the skipper. He has a flying shot on the run. I tell you what, why wouldn't you give it off, Shane, when you can do that?
Just might have predicted something like that might have happened. Well done to Ben Jeffries.
Hills Football League Facebook page, get involved. We're live on the Facebook as well as the YouTube today, so hillsfooty.com, Hills Football League Facebook page. We've got the good banter going back and forth, and we're also live on lofty.org.au through Lofty 88.9 FM, so we've got it all covered.
Just one thing, boys. Great crowd in the house here. It'd have to be about 993, I think, here today.
And they're seeing a
fantastic to see everyone out
cracking
here.
Game of football.
It is.
10 minutes just about to expire. Second term, it's the Tigers 4-5 leading Onka Valley 4-3. 2-point margin in favour of the boys from the Valley of Praise. Ball goes to ground, the cricket pitch
Just
area.
a quick one, Pistols. I'd be interested in your view. Hasn't Dorr made a difference into the ruck here? He's really got on top of Shell in that tap.
Well, plenty of experience, as we know.
Absolutely.
So good to have the luxury as he goes, and there takes this one, nearly took it with him, intercepting it. There was George Dent. Finally, the ball going forward. Big Terry Sleep wanders out, got his ball to it. Here's a chance for Sinnott, left it behind. Oh, Sleep follows up, sweeps the ball of a handball. First to get there be Stafford, I think it is. He goes to ground under pressure, and meanwhile, umpire Taylor says Stafford.
He's played well, Stafford.
Yep,
done
Jack Stafford. So come across.
Oh,
Perhaps a dangerous kick. Carissa is looming. Can he control it? Under pressure from Prig. Comes back here towards Prosser. And finally Stafford follows it up.
Oh,
and meantime could have been out on the could have been out on the fall. So Carissa, who have the shot
Game
right
number 50, A grade.
in the canteen pocket here. So Carissa will run around. He's going to try and
he's got the
curl
left
it
foot.
back. Across the face, I think it's through for a minor score. So all happening here at you install it Oval, of course, Windy Hill. 4-4 plays 4-5.
Lines is on the ground, or he's probably been on the court the whole quarter.
Just that much excitement going on Goldie, it's a bit hard to pick it up. So meanwhile, Matty Fuller waiting to the ball to be returned. Isn't it interesting, boys? You come here about 10 years ago, and you'd retrieve the ball from the paddocks with the cows. Now you've got to go and get out of the swimming pool from all the houses.
The houses, exactly, off the second story of those houses.
Yeah.
Kurt Thompson's house.
Probably your house over there too, Jim.
Millionaire's Row. Yeah.
Well,
that's right.
well, you probably own two.
So here we
Well,
go.
I haven't got a chalet at Victor Harbour.
Matty Fuller, perfect conditions here from Blackwood, that's for sure. No
Great
clouds
mark.
really. Lovely mark out there.
Elliot.
So Elliott, out of side, centre wing. 12 minutes gone. It's the Tigers winning by a point in an absolute classic qualifying final here from Blackwood. Bundled on, lovely work by young Cooper Luke. Kick inside 50, well-weighted kick to Hopgood in the pocket. Dogs defence fighting on. Bit of a push-out shoal. Handballs to a teammate who's routed up immediately in a tackle.
Good work by young Hopgood there, boys.
It was well worked by Lobethal too. That was nearly borderline too easy, but their skill by foot has been a lot better than Onka's today.
So inside 50 here for the Tigers. What can they do? Fumbling around. We'll get to the goal kickers for the quarter very, very shortly, as well as some stats for the lads. But Hopgood's kicked the goal for the Tigers at the 6-minute mark. Bilby and Jeffrey, the goal kicker for the Dogs. Ball's inside 50 here for the Tigers. Pistols.
Big lead there was Shell, ball fed out there.
Mayo, I think.
Interrupted there by Hopgood once again. Yes, I think you're right, it was Mayo. So, yeah, we will take the opportunity to Jaden and Indy on the stat sheets.
Thanks, Pistols. So, yeah, 11 kicks, 8 handballs and 3 marks here for Lobethal. They've been quite quarter this one. Onkers have got on top around the ball. Indy, more elaboration, mate?
16 kicks, 15 handballs, and so far 4 marks for Onkers. It's a pretty balanced game. It's not too much different from the first quarter. They've kept that pressure up and some pretty good composure in the midfield, but I've noticed they've sacrificed a few more centre clearances to allow a better setup behind the ball. So that has helped them just a little bit in the concession category.
And Pistols, just some more comments coming in here. Benjamin Cracknell says he wants to see a lift from young Zaddo. Maybe a bit of banter there.
He's got a tough job at the moment. He's seen him being Jeffries. He's not doing a bad job, though.
1 point in the margin, 12-minute mark, qualifying final. Div 1 action here from Blackwood. It's the Tigers 4-5, Onka Valley 4-4. And, of course, tomorrow we'll be doing the elimination final from Heathfield between Blackwood and Mount Barker. And I think it'll be about mid-20s as well tomorrow.
Father's Day special, of course, Goldie. But as we said early on, the reserves here, Harndorf 9-10 defeated Blackwood 4-1. And in the country division, the Raiders 8-10 have defeated Birdwood 4-9 in the Magoo's curtain raiser there. So we'll just try and get you through some senior scores as happening.
Got another comment here. Michael Durden says, hey, Colo, he's watching from the pub. Can you sort out some replays?
Yes, that's the Munna, the chef at the Oakbank Hotel.
I thought
the boys have got it on the big screen there. So
I thought he was going to say, hey, Colo, can you put your hand in your pocket?
Does he want some replays of the action?
yeah, well, he must.
Okay, we'll get to
He'd
that.
be busy serving beers, so him and Matty there would be too busy.
Well, we hope he is busy serving beers and a good crowd in there watching our live
As long as he cooks me a
stream.
nice steak for dinner tonight, I'll be happy.
Fantastic. So, in the meantime, a ball up will take place on the outer side wing, and 14 minutes expired here. Lobe just swing. Various the margins, 4-5 to 4-4 against the Dogs. Ball comes down. Green's attempt was deflected there. Lions getting involved finally. Worked for by Webber.
Peter!
Peter! Oh, got his hands to it. Spot. Nitsky knocks up, gets it back into Stafford. The youngster
Well
threads through
done.
traffic and repels this attack, puts it up here. It's a foot race in. Matty Dean lurks. Also Sinnott. Ball bouncing through. Comes out into Bilby. Would he go? Yes, he goes in under a Lobethal player. So
I was just
held
about
up
to say,
there.
it's been 5 minutes of probably stale footy, hasn't it? Just
Yeah,
stoppage.
but
But
Lockie Peter.
Peter nearly put us into the next stratosphere.
Excitement machine that is, as we said, last year's male medalist in Division 2 for Kersbrook. So Ruck, Duel, Voigt got it down towards Zaddo, lurking. Can he control the ball? Yes, he can, but he's also controlled by a good tackle from the Dogs. Oh, Jack Andrew Bampton diving in there. Finally, Doc Webber with a quick kick away.
Well played.
But on as far as Elliot, who's been pretty steady in the Tigers' defence this afternoon. Oh, the kick could be a bit straighter.
played
Brent
again,
Grunson,
Brent.
he runs down the cricket pitch area, goes long, straight down the corridor. Lurking is big Jack Osmond. Comes out, gets his hand to it. Lurking is Turpin. Jeffries with a clearing handball over here. Dogs defence under pressure here. Bouncing ball up the link to that man, Peter. Can he control it under pressure here? Going to ground there was Cooper Skinner. And
I've been impressed with Pring today on that wing. He's doing some really nice things. I know that kick wasn't quite 10 out of 10, but some really good contested footy.
So boundary throw in. 4-5 Lobethal, Onka Valley 4-5. About 55 metres out from the Tigers' goal. Shoal won that one to ground level. It's gone out of bounds just near the scoreboard. Looks like a couple of changes here for the Tigers. King coming on. along with Jake Ulrich. So Dylan Hopwood coming off the ground for Lobethal. Meantime, boundary throw-in. About 60 metres out from the Tigers' goal. Here's Zaddo on cue. Handballs chopped off. Weber kick towards centre wing where we're broadcasting. Peter round the action. Young with Stafford. Good tackle. Young Cooper Skinner gets the handball out. Vine's going in it. Greenslade, lovely handball out towards Chipiana, towards centre half forward. Trying to pick it up, it's young Cooper Luke. Umpire's seen something behind the play here, a blood rule.
Back down here, it's Joey Zatto coming off just down from the Dreammaker commentary spot.
It was really interesting in the back play there. Aidan Riley and Damien Green, and Damien Green's coming off with a slip to his eye, so it's fair to say what might have happened in back play there.
So we've got a stoppage 55 metres out, meantime.
Was it Zoo versus Horn?
It was, very close.
All right.
Sorry, yep, 55 metres out from goal. Umpire Taylor blows the ball, whistle again, so 17 minutes gone, 1 point in the margin. The Tigers are leading, and it's just on the Dogs' 50. So a real arm wrestle as we head towards the midway point of this second term from Blackwood Oval.
So ruck duel. Over the top was Voigt, got it down. Trying to burrow his way there, looked like a Mayo, but he's well wrapped up in a tackle by Timmy Jenkin. So once again, it will be umpire Taylor to come and ball up. So centre half forward position for the Dogs. Sleep tried to backhand it, knocked forward there by McWhorter. Ball comes out into Jeffries. Jeffries, the last goal kicker. Great work by Nitsky. Two Nerd boys tangling there. Oh, a bit off the play. Jeffries and young King. Ryan King just retrieving the ball, and the ball will come back here to Nitsky. So Luke Nitsky, great warrior at Nord, now with the Tigers, puts the ball up forward. Door was the target. Ball comes out there. Oh, good attack on the ball by the chip. Chipiana goes to ground level and held in. So
some real vigour in the game at the moment, isn't it? It's right in the battle.
And why not? 1 point ball game,
yeah,
4-5 to 4-4. 18 minutes gone in and called. I'll trust you enjoying our worldwide stream on hillsfooty.com. Brady Dorr with a big fist away. Gathered there by Turpin, seeks the boundary line, I think, and helped over the said boundary line.
Really impressed with Brady Dorr's ruck work this quarter. He's been exceptional. He showed why he's got a wonderful career behind him at SANFL level.
Absolutely. So he'll take up the challenge once again as he does the ruck work against Sleep. Sleep outbotted him, gathered the ball and managed to flick the ball out. There's little Jack Andrew working hard at ground level, puts the ball forward. Looks like a illegal disposal called by umpire Taylor there, Goldie. And it'd be a free kick perhaps
Tigers.
to
Matt
Fuller, is it? Yeah, the playing coach. So Fuller yet to get on the board this afternoon, but has kicked 10 for the season, Goldie. So good opportunity here to just stretch that lead. It's a point at the moment. Could be 7 after this kick.
Yeah, nice. Good pressure from Lobethal. At the end of the day, you're going to put pressure on that part of the ground. You're going to get the odd free kick's going to go your way. So well done to him.
So umpire
We're right
Taylor,
behind the kick here. Benny, what do you reckon?
Yep, Flynn
Well,
McCamerman
yeah, no,
down
good.
the barrel.
got to back in the coach, don't you? Left to right, or just straight through the middle, whatever.
Left-hand goalpost.
Left-hand goalpost, that's what I'm getting at. There we go.
There you go.
There
No,
we go.
lovely kick.
Lovely kick.
Swells back nicely. You're probably right behind it through Flynn the cameraman on the Dartfish vision. So Tigers 5th on the board through the agency of the playing coach at the 18-minute mark. So they go to 5-5. Onka Valley a 4-4, so 7-point margin here. What's been a pretty entertaining qualifying final. Of course, the winner of this going through to meet Tarndorf next week in the second semi. Yep. And the loser having the second chance playing the winner of tomorrow's elimination final between Blackwood and Mount Barker, which of course you can catch once again here on hillsfooty.com from 2 p.m. Goldie.
Back in the middle, Brady Dorr once again in ruck against Terry Sleep. So, bit of a mutual new negating role there. Vine, kick inside 50 to Catfish. Lockie Peters around the action. Shinned off a Tigers forward. Could come off here. Cooper Luke goes back to Huckster.
Played.
Lovely work out. Here's Fuller, kicked the last goal of the match. Kick in the middle of the ground. Good mark by Nitschke, confronted there by George Dent. Meantime, McWhorter's kick inside 50. A low pass finds Kai Turpin Pistols, and he can kick long and strong inside 50 to Osborne.
So inside the square, puts up towards Big Jackie, swamped by defenders, comes to Matty Dean. He's wrapped it in a big tackle, spills the ball out. Tiger Chipiana got it back into a teammate, kicks up the line, looking for Vines over the top, and Stafford, the clash of the two long-haired boys, chips it across here, and once again Fuller is showing his big game experience. Here, of course, Nord Premiership player was on the list for the Western Doggies for a couple of years as well, so he'll take the kick from just outside the 50-metre arc here, Goldie. As you said, he's going for back-to-back goals here, so Colo is...
Yeah, I reckon the trip's in him. I reckon
Yep.
this is a very live chance.
So Matty Fuller course, took over the playing coach position last year in the
Oh.
late season, but I tell you what, he wants to go.
Oh, he's found a player in the pocket.
He got out the shadow in the pocket, but it was out on the full, so nearly a miraculous pass disguised there. Comes up the line towards the Catfish in Vines. He took a good mark under the impending arrival of Fuller. So Vines just up from the scoreboard pocket, bit of off the ball, push and shove. Chipiana getting involved there. Seems to become the villain at the moment. So Vines kicks up towards the winger, right in front of the Dreammaker.
Oh,
And big Brady Dorr just using that big height as Colo talked about. Takes a mark, quickly puts it up the line to King. King takes a mark, gets it on to Nitsky. He goes towards the goals. Osborne Lombers out. Also down there, Jack Andrew Banton. High kick towards the top of the square. Oh, courageous work there by Jeffries. Eyes for the ball and draws the free kick.
So Jeffries, the Dogs on the counter-attack here. He's got Sinnott as Brady Dorr comes off and Henry Voigt coming on. Sinnott has a bounce. Closing pace there. Looks like King. Good work there from Elliott. Chopped off. Goes to Cooper Luke. Usually a good user of the ball. Goes,
too
nice
good.
sells a bit of candy.
Yeah.
Kick inside 50, but it's chopped off there by Zach George Dent, who holds his ground on the half-forward line for the Tigers.
I tell you what, boys, this is a great game of footy, qualifying final, end-to-end footy.
Yeah.
And the tempo is
And really
pretty good, isn't
contested, isn't it?
Yeah. So, driving it forward, Dogs out a wing. Looks like it's come off hands as the Academy boy blows the whistle, so we'll have a ruck duel. So Big Terry Sleep lumbers in.
We're on time on now.
So he'll be opposed to Voigt in the long sleeves. High pitch of the ball. Sleep. Oh, the back actually taken out of the air by Voigt. Waste no time. Goes towards half forward, but it's all the Dogs back there. And Matty Dean takes a mark. Waste no time. Gets out towards the vacant wing area. Finds the chip. Chippy. Oh,
he
coughs
dropped
up what he should have got. He's good enough to get back and reclaim it. Then chips it up and finds Carissa. Carissa's got a Bilby running, but chooses to go long towards the
Lockie
pocket.
Peter.
Up around Lockie Peter.
Oh.
With borders. Cruel bounce there, but it does favour Mayo. Grabs it. Great pressure applied to him by
Oh, look at
Stafford.
the shimmy.
Oh, swims it out. Here's Peter. Stand and deliver. Shot curls across the front through for a minor score. But some exciting passages of football here, boys.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The game's just opened up that last 3 or 4 minutes, and Onka's pushing forward with good numbers, so it'll be interesting. I think Lobie will want it contested footy for as long as they possibly can this afternoon.
Goal kickers so far, Bilby and Jeffries in this term anyway for the Dogs, and Hopgood and Fuller for the Tigers. So 23-minute mark, 6 points the margin, 5-5 Lobethal, Onka Valley 4-5, and looks like Timmy Jenkin will bring the ball in for the Tigers. Kicks it out towards sort of us in the broadcasting area. Voigt's the target, Sleep, brings it to ground
Good
level.
spot.
Bampton, front and centre, as he often is. Nitschke goes to Pring. Went with the second kick. Kick inside 50. Kuiper takes the mark for the Dogs. So what can he do here as we head towards half-time? Kuiper's got a
Bell
option
out
8 here, and Bell is taking his time. Kick in the middle of the ground. Big Terry Sleep takes the mark. Patient build up here from the Dogs. He's got some options up the ground.
Goes
Goes towards Catfish Andy Vines and finds the chip.
for the
Chipiana.
option behind the ground. That's Vines ran past those phones. Chipiana right in front of the Dreammaker commentary booth here. He's got a loose man in the centre, which is Jeffries. Picks him out inside the centre square. Joffa goes bang towards the top of the goals, but cut off there by the tractor. Timmy Jig. Oh, it must have been touched off hands, boys.
Riley
And,
Sinnott got a click, and that's gone through for a point.
He stole that one.
Yeah. So you probably hear Coach Tanner in the background actually issuing instructions. So the Doggies extra point there to go to 4-6 to 5-5. So under one straight kick here. It's the margin. As Jenkin once again to bring the ball back in from Millionaire's row end. Goes high kick out here. Stafford setting himself. Comes down the ground. In there is a Chipiana. Been very impressed with him. Also,
Been very, very impressed
Nitsky?
with Stafford from Lobethal today.
yeah, the young
Jeffries
fella.
played really well.
Young fella, so Voigt and Sleep. Voigt gets it down, nearly stolen by
It's almost holding the ball.
Cornish. Cornish wasn't going to let him go anywhere, so it's held up. So umpire Dennis Raymond to ball up, which he does. Voigt down to Nitsky, tries to just bollock his way through. He's held up there once again. Jeffries and Cornish doing some hard work. So umpire Raymond again in the action. Voigt wins it down for a third time. Toe poke forward by the Catfish. First get to be Jack Andrew. Got his nose off the ground, got it to Jenkin through the agency of Nitsky. Here's a high kick towards half forward. Limbering out here. Chance for Riley. Where to get a bounce? Oh,
Oh,
fisted for by
play.
Yorick. He's got a clear man out here.
Cooper Skinner.
Cooper Skinner runs in an open goal. Says thank you very much, and great thinking there by young Oric just to tap the ball. And there's Shane Collins in the running goal for Cooper.
Yeah, look, Bampton's been so important around stoppages today. His work, front and square work, as a small crummer should be. He's been excellent today and set up that opportunity off half back there. And the tractor, Timmy Jenkins, how many times we've seen him run off half back for Lobethal in the last few years and penetrate forward and give Lobethal a scoring chance. And he done it again there, as Coach Paul Tanner yelled out. Not good enough by the Onkas half forwards, sorry. They didn't empty out and provide any pressure.
I tell you, these Tigers will be relishing the return to finals football. First one since 2015, elimination final that they played and were beaten by Harndorf. I think Penny at Mount Pleasant.
Well, remembering early in the year, you put yourself right out there, Jeffrey, and said they'd be the most improved team in the competition.
Well, Shane,
unbelievable call by you.
Voigt versus Scholl in the ruck as we head towards half time. Coming through was that man, Jack Bampton, who's been in around the contest for the majority of the match so far.
Actually, I did notice at half time last week because Mitchy Weeks was a guest assistant with us and he did give a few words of wisdom to little Jack. So it's good to see Jack Andrew taking on what Mitchy said, the great man.
Here's a chance for the Catfish. Andy Vines, kick inside 50, maybe last chance for the Dogs. 1-on-1 Peter. Almost took the mark, sniffing his Greenslade. Goes for a kick off the ground.
Oh, great work by Elliot, is it? Did he?
Oh,
yes.
Minor score. The umpire, gee, took his time there. He said it's hit the post. There we go. So 10 points the margin as we head towards half time here. Pistols. Last goal scorer for the Tigers was Cooper Skinner. So Tim Jenkin will bring the ball in here for the Tigers. Goes straight down the middle of Blackwood. And there we go. Half time. I think it's 10 points the margin. Lobethal 6-5. Colo's just going to have maybe a chat here, or is he...
He's lurking.
He's keen to have a chat to someone.
So as the
Come in?
players gather, getting set for... looks like he's going to grab... looks like he's going to grab Stevie Tanner, I think. So, no. Let's wait and see. And don't forget, stick around half time. We've got an interview with the man who's watching this game with great interest. I'd suggest the coach of the undefeated minor Premier Harndorf, Matty Golding, will be joining us for a bit of a quick chat about how his team's travelling. Pretty well, I'd suggest. As Shane looks like he's down with Paul Tanner now, so we'll go down to...
Just quickly, Jeffrey, really good of Onka's coach Paul Tanner. Give us a quick assessment of the first half, mate. What are your thoughts?
Oh, we're just scrappy. We're not clean. We're just a bit fumbly and turning it over too much at this stage. We've had plenty of it, but yeah, it's our biggest issue at the moment. We need to tidy up.
And where do you think you can get on top of Lobethal into the second half? Have you pinpointed anything where you can really reckon you can improve, in personnel-wise, or is it more just about the control of the ball?
Yeah, it's more of having control of the ball. Like, we're sort of on top through the midfield, but we're just sort of wasting it a bit going forward. We just got to work harder up forward to keep the ball in our area as well. So, got a couple of things we need to work on.
Good on you, mate. Thanks very much for your precious time. We do thank Onka's coach Paul Tanner for giving us a little bit of his time there.
If you just
Pistons,
stay there,
you're throwing fingers out at me
Jane,
there and different things.
If you just stay there, got a special guest to
All right.
interview the coach of the Harndorf who's
Here's
here.
the microphone, boys. We can... There we go.
We'll just get organised here. As we
Can't
said,
hear you, though, so...
as we said,
Is it on?
Come on,
Just
Jim.
check if it's on, Jaden. That's right. Stay
Oh,
on the
yeah,
camera.
okay. We can't hear you. You just can talk
no,
loudly, all right?
it's going to be for you. You're the man. You're the man. You and Matty Golding to just talk about the season and what he's looking forward to. So,
You know that
down,
bus that just drove past that you just threw me under? No, we'll be right.
down to you, Shane. So away you go.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Thanks. We're very lucky here at half-time to be joined by Harndorf coach Matty Golding. Thanks, Matty. Thanks for obviously being here today. You obviously had the twos in, so they had a really good win.
Yeah, we did. Pretty strong performance, I think, overall. They had lots of chances early in the game. Couldn't put the game to bed, but I think they finished really strongly. And as Jason DeLuca, our Bees coach, mentioned before, no injuries was another pretty positive aspect. So we're looking pretty healthy from that perspective.
And just before we move into the ones, just from the twos point of view, obviously got beaten last week by a Chunga, so worked on a few things, and I thought they played quite well today. Really looking forward to next week's game, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Should be a great match-up in the early game, and also that continuity of having both of your grades play on the same day. I mean, it's not the end of the world and you can manage it, but if you can get it so that both teams are on the same day. It makes training and it makes everything a little bit smoother.
It's an interesting point, mate. Many clubs try and get one team in. You guys worry about making sure two are on the same day, but it's a luxury that Harndorf have got, which is fantastic. So, on to the ones. Week off this week. What did you do during the week? Obviously, it's been a quick slog through the season. Have you enjoyed the week off and really just, refreshed everyone?
Yeah, we did. So we sort of, I guess, flipped our nights. So it was still Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday was really recovery-based, touch the balls, got the guys moving. I think we were probably maybe 60 minutes, maybe a shade over that. And then Thursday night was our main session of the fortnight. I think we were 80, 85 minutes, bit of match sim, and a pretty strong night. So the guys worked pretty hard. And then next week into a normal Tuesday, Thursday, and be hopefully fresh and ready for next Saturday.
So nothing through the weekend. You give the boys the weekend off, apart from obviously coming along and supporting.
I mean, the message is, and lots of guys have posted some runs and some gym sessions they've done. So the message was do something over the Thursday to Tuesday part over the weekend and keep yourself ticking over. But nothing structured, nothing formal. I've never been a huge fan of those weekend sessions.
Yeah.
We've tried it a couple of times over the years, and to be fair, we probably haven't gotten a whole lot out of it. So I think the trust for the guys to keep themselves ticking over, which most of them have done really well, and then into Tuesday, into Thursday, and then game day at Mount Barker next Saturday. And
your high quality cattle that you've got with your A grade group, how are you looking? Is there any injury concerns? Has the week off really helped for a couple, or you're going pretty well, all right at the moment?
Going pretty well. I think the week off, this time of year after 8 games in 9 weeks, after a couple of months of not doing a whole lot, I think it comes at a good time. A couple of boys are a little bit sore. We chose to rest a couple of guys for the Achunga game, so we should be full strength for next week, and it's going to be some tough choices to make it at selection, but we'd always rather it that way than the other way, and also that can turn pretty quickly. You can go from finding it tough to all of a sudden this happens, that happens, and all of a sudden it's not an issue already. So we're pretty wary of that, but we're in a good position going into the finals.
And the big one, obviously, late in the year, Daniel Roberts had a hamstring problem. How's he coming along? Will he be ready to go, or is he maybe another week away yet?
Look, initially we thought maybe he'd be racing the clock for the second semi, but he's made some really good progression the last week. He's done a whole stack of running, so his intention is to progress further Tuesday into Thursday. The risk is to try and push it and chase the second semi, and then maybe it goes again. So we'll be cautious, but at the same time, if these guys are ready to play, then we'll back them in.
And it's money time for him. He just absolutely grows another leg in finals, doesn't he? So I bet you he's looking forward to it. And just on the development of the Harndorf Footy Club this year, we've obviously called him a few times. I've really been excited by the continued growth of that younger group, and obviously Darcy coming out of your forward line. I think it's actually helped the development of a lot of those kids, not with nothing against Darcy there, but, Sultan, Nykamp and those boys, Babbage coming to your forward half, they've really grown.
Yeah, well, I guess Jarrett Mayle's another guy you can add to that. So, we didn't have the leading goal kicker this year like we have the last couple of years, but having a closer look, I think we've got 4 of the top 7. So the guys that we mentioned then all finding the scoreboard and making us maybe harder to defend. There's not the obvious target where Darcy draws the ball, and it's not that we try and look for him all the time. Just those kind of players seem to draw the ball a lot. So we're a little bit more unpredictable going forward, and I think that can make us more dangerous and more versatile. So the way it's sort of played out, it's been really positive.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's your forward line now. It's so dangerous. You can go any which way and find a good target. But the one thing that's really impressed me with Harndorf, it's easy. If you don't watch them every week, you just read the paper and you go, wow, look at the scores and the goal kicks. On being at the ground and watching you play, I just love the way you work behind the ball. Your defensive structures, the way you set up behind the footy. In the end of the day, although, you're winning premierships and your attack's great, you've got the best defence, I think, and the best defensive structure than any team's ever had in the HFL. Do you spend a lot of time with that? Obviously, you've got a lot of senior players with great experience, but do you spend a lot of time with that, or does it sort of come natural to that group?
Initially we did, sort of trying to get organised, but when you've got a half-back line that reads Cheney, Perling, Yench,
helps.
Those guys have played a little bit of football, really intelligent guys, and they basically pull the strings back there and make sure we're getting what we want and trying to have some real aerial coverage. And then the part of it's winning the ball back when the other team are going forward, but then we're pretty keen to attack and trying to get it out the other side as quick as we can as a general rule. So it's going really well back there, and hopefully those boys continue it for another couple of weeks.
And you've got the names, but it's also the development of your young kids in the back half that's been impressive for me. I'm watching the other week, we did the Onkas games. I was really taken back by some of the young lads back there and the role they were playing. Obviously, playing around those type of players helps, but I think it's full credit to Harndorf the way that the back half is set up, and it's something something certainly a lot of people look at gloss over. But now, just on to today's game, what, as a coach that's obviously ready and waiting for next week, what do you actually look into today's game? Do you take too much in? You know, do you focus too much on opposition, or what do you try and get out of watching an A-grade game today?
It's a good question. I probably do focus a lot on the opposition, but it's, you sort of limit that and filter that to what the players get. So I'd like to try and learn as much as I can. Rotations and stoppage stuff, what other teams are doing in front and behind the ball. Basically try and absorb it all, and what's relevant, pass on to the players. But I think it's very much a less is more. If you over-analyse and overdo the opposition stuff, it can maybe be a little bit too much. So we're all about what we do, but we also like to be respectful and make sure we understand what the opposition is bringing each week. So I think we've got the balance okay on that.
And what do you, we'll spend a couple of minutes on both these sides. Let's talk about Lobethal.
Yep.
Obviously, Brady Dorr hasn't played a lot this year. I thought he had a fantastic second quarter there, given their first look of the ball through the midfield. What do you look at with Lobethal? Obviously, you touched him up fairly heavily this year when you played him, and the boys, from sources that watched it, it was one of the best games they've seen from the Hahndorf Club in many years. So, what do you find with Lobethal, and what are the little things that you think you can get out of and pick through with the way they're playing?
Yeah, I guess it's trying to just understand the way they shape up in front of the footy. Obviously, they've got some size down in their forward line, so we're already sort of thinking about matchups and thinking about how we play these guys. Some quality around the ball as well. I think Aidan Riley's one of the best sort of clearance players and very hard to tackle, and they've got some experienced guys down back as well. So I think it's just generally trying to understand who's playing where, what the rotations are, the way they're trying to move the ball, and most teams try and play in a similar kind of way. So no real surprises. Since Matty Fuller's taken over, we've noticed they like to try and switch the footy and get it back through the middle a lot more maybe than they used to. So we're conscious of that, but they're quality all over the park, so they're a good team. And when we played them, it was a while ago now, of course. I think we had a really strong day. They had a bad day. We don't expect that result will repeat itself anytime soon, that's for sure. So they're a very good side and finished second for a reason.
And just flipping over to the Onka Valley Footy Club, you've had a great recent history with contests with them, obviously last year's grand final, but I would suggest they're probably a different shaped size to what Lobethal are. What do you look at from their point of view?
Almost not the opposite, but their forward line structures up very differently. Obviously with Jake Acock not playing, I think Sleep started forward today, but then it's really sort of some, mediums, I guess. Lockie Peter, good overhead for his size. Tommy Mayo the same, so they're probably more mobile. Luckily for us, our defenders, we've got a few guys that can play big or small, so it's not a huge issue in terms of matching up on them. But I think they're really agile ahead of the footy, guys that can move and take a good catch. So again, some strong midfielders, Johnny Greenslade and Doc Webber in the middle. I reckon Webber would be one of the best offhands readers of the ball, be it stoppage or be it off a marking contest in the Sandfield, let alone in the HFL. So he's obviously a quality player, and then Joffa sort of leads them from the back half. So again, they're pretty balanced side, forward, mid and back.
Yeah, it's good to get an insight into both those clubs and how they look from a coach's point of view. So I appreciate that. So we move on to next week. We could drive out here at 5 o'clock today. How does the week look for you? Is due to not playing Saturday, is Tuesday a punishing night, or do you take it easy, skill sets or game sim, or do you really need to get some run in the legs?
Yeah, it won't be punishment. There'll be probably an element of running, but it'll be all sort of. We try and not do too many cone to cone drills. Yeah. We try and do a lot of 5-on-3 stuff, a lot of sort of short-sided games, be it handball, be it kicking based. We'll be pretty normal. So we'll be 90 minutes, maybe a touch under Tuesday, and probably 60-65 Thursday. Always erring on the side of fresh rather than run, I guess, in the legs. We'll let them get plenty of run in the legs on the Saturdays they play.
And just one thing I'd love to ask you about, and obviously coach myself, for you with your side on the Saturday, Tuesday night, do you generally know what your 21-22 looks like, or are you a Thursday night, see what happens through training type?
We probably, there's a few emails going back and forward, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have a bit of an idea, but I think when you try and plan on a Tuesday for a Saturday, there's still a lot can happen between Tuesday and Saturday. We're probably more Thursday, let's try and nail it Thursday, but we've got a bit of an idea as to what way we're heading, I guess, is probably the answer.
So the boys might have to have a feed and a couple of cans of Coke while they're waiting for the coach. You might take a bit of time this week, because you'll have some big decisions to make with the boys coming back.
Yeah, and look, a lot of it depends on if Dan gets up or not, so that's probably touch and go. I reckon the way he's progressing is probably more likely than unlikely, so that'll be a factor. But yeah, we'll try not to keep them waiting too long. that's for sure.
Excellent. Fantastic to talk to you. Thanks for giving us some of your time. You know, we sit back and in awe of the players of the Handel Football Club, but there's a reason they got one of the best coaches you'll find, and full credit to the way you go about it. And you coach the whole footy club. The whole footy club play with a great culture, and well done to you, and all the best for the finals. Being an Onka's boy, apart from Onka's, but good luck, mate, and thanks for your time.
Appreciate that, Grinya. Thanks.
Excellent. Very lucky to get some time from the Handorf coach, and we thank him. And thanks for leaving me out there, Jeffrey. That was good, and all your questions really helped. But I'll cross back to you boys in the Dreammaker so I can have some lunch now.
Yeah, you're right. You go.
Thank you very much to Shane. Thanks very much to Shane Collins and so,
We'll let Colo go to canteen. He's got some time.
as I say,
I'm still finishing me Mr. Whippy from before.
as I say, you hit the ground running very well there, Shane. And
We can bring the young lad in.
and once again, we appreciate Matty Golding for giving us his time.
Jaden and Indy.
And Jaden Indy, we'll get to those shortly.
They're just
They're eating chips out there.
They're eating
and,
chips.
they've got
Everyone's
the-
feeding their face,
They've
but
got stats coming out everywhere.
at half
It's,
time here, we are.
I'll tell you what,
10
though,
points.
it was a fantastic chat
Oh, that was
with Matt Golding, and some really good insight into what he watches from both these teams today and how he sees them, you know, facing up whoever that opposition will be for Handorf next week. So, yeah, really good chat.
So around the grounds, we can tell you half time. Semi-final, whatever they call it, over in Country Division at Kersbrook
Whatever
Oval.
they call it.
23-point margin in favour of Birdwood, 6-7, Gumaraka 3-2, so maybe...
I might get another tin of custard this week.
You may well.
Hey?
I think that'd be the last on their thing on their minds. If the custard fits where it's perhaps showed Colo, but
And now
anyway.
I've worked out the Div 2 thing, Benny.
Oh,
So,
I had it
do you know
passed
what?
up,
Do you know?
no?
No.
Oh.
I think you've got it right. So what I can see happening, who said the other night in the show, who was Footy Unplugged the other night, that Kersbrook might just have a different way of getting in. They could be heading off to play Gumaraka in a prelim final.
That was me,
Oh, yeah,
Colo. I'll put my hand up.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Told you Beef's doing it a
Interesting.
bit differently.
Yeah,
this year.
he is. Yeah.
Firstly, they've got to get
And
over
someone
Kangaroo
was at
tomorrow, of course.
Macclesfield Oval on Thursday night. Not sure who.
And it wasn't you? You didn't
wasn't me.
roll the van
lights
down?
the lights were on. Something was happening.
Standing in your outside shower,
Yeah.
just looking down. Hey?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
All right, back to Blackwood, boys.
and stay with K, is it? K-A-H. Was it?
Oh yeah, we've got a tip here.
Got a tip is?
Nick Smart says stick with Carr in the next.
Jamie
which is
Carr.
probably already
Yep, righto.
already run. Is looking for a winner.
Anyway, Hills Footy, what we're here for, we're underway. Ryan King flicks the ball out here to Ben Pring. Tigers first forward inside the entry of the third term. Bouncing ball. First get there'll be Jeffries for Onkers. Good tackle applied by Fuller. Bouncing ball. Working in front of him is George Dent. And finally works the ball over the boundary line. So all set up here for a very good second half. It's a
I did
qualifying
say early, Osborne looked very dangerous. Took the first mark of the game. Fanning's actually been okay in recent contests with him and been able to get his fist to the ball and get it to ground. So,
So
he's
big-
certainly come back in that duel.
Big contract for him. Ball for Den. Here's Riley. Got his boot to the ball. Flicks out here. I think it's Hopgood grabs the ball. Oh, wheels around well. Already a goal kicker in the game.
Oh, he's given
I
it-
tell you what, he's going to kick another one. Brilliant work by Dylan Hopgood.
Yep.
Kicked the first goal in the second term, boys, and he's kicked the first in the third.
Yeah, and he clapped it as soon as he hit the boot. That's how good he kicked that one. Lovely kick.
Just got a little bit of mail from the bench from the Bulldogs. Number 7 is that hamstring tightly strapped and playing forward. So hope he hasn't done too much damage there, but he hasn't started in the middle. So a bit more pressure on Onkers
Of
now.
course, for the viewers, that's Johnny Greenslade.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you missed the memo, but number 7s don't do hamstrings at Onkers. Generally don't run fast enough.
I was about to say, Shane, in the past they haven't, but anyway. So, back in the centre, umpire Godfrey will set the game away again. So, high leap by Shell. Voigt gets the ball down. Nitsky cleverly gets it out to Riley. Sends him back inside the Tigers. Door lurking, so is the smallest man on the ground. And Bampton gets it across here towards Fisher. Big Jack Osborne arrives. Oh, a toe poke fall by Fanning. Carissa lurking, also Cooper Luke for the Tigers. Luke gets a interesting disposal away, but in the end, ping for holding the ball. So Carissa with the ball, half-back flank area for the Dogs.
50.
So 16-point margin as you can hear Shane Collins in the background earns a 50-metre penalty there from umpire Mick Taylor. So Carissa, this will put into the edge of the square at the bottom end of the ground. Shoots out a pass here to the lead of
Peter.
and honours it with a lovely lace-out pass. So Lockie Peter goal kicker. Goal kickers in the first half were Osborne, Riley, Fisher, Hopgood and Fuller, and Skinner. And for the Dogs, Peter, Mayo, Bilby and Jeffries, and then Hopgood adding to his tally for the Lobethal Football Club with the first goal in the opening stages of this second half. So Lockie Peter, deliberate approach, be some 45 out, similar angle. Puts it out, but it's drifted a bit too far. So the first score for the Dogs in the second half is a minor one. So they reduce it back to 15-point margin, 7-5 to 4-8.
The important 10 to 15 minutes for the Doggies here. They've got to get back into this game. Lobethal has started really well again in the third quarter. Just
repeating half-time scores. Semi-final at Kersbrook Oval. Birdwood 6-7 are leading last year's premiers. Gamaraka 3-2, so 23-point margin. As we said, it's 15-point margin here at Birdwood at Blackwood Oval, Goldie.
So Tim Jenkin will bring the ball in, most likely straight down the middle. That's where he goes. Bampton is on. Oh, it's Hopgood. Lovely. Kicked the last goal of the match, or the first goal of the second half for the Tigers. Goes out towards Big Henry Voigt versus the Chip. So Tigers just got a little edge here. 15 points, 7-5 to 4-8. 4 minutes gone in the qualifying final from Blackwood. Tigers through Voigt goes to Jenkins. So inside the defensive 50. Oh, just the slips catch there by Cooper Skinner, who kicked a nice goal in that second turn. Back to Jimmy Jenkins. Here's the run from the Tigers. Skinner over the top. I think it's Cooper Luke kicking in the middle of the ground, finds Hopgood. The Tigers are up and running to start the second half. Kick inside 50, Fishers one-on-one. Put up the mitt. Probably looking for a bit of a paddle there to Fuller. Meantime, oh, it's coming back in. Here's a chance. Handballs into a dangerous position. Here's Fisher, who tried to set up that play, and he kicks the goal. Sensational stuff from the skipper, and the Tigers skip away here early in the third term. 8 goals 5, Onka's 4 goals 8, 5 minutes gone. Yeah, qualifying final.
Good work from Lobethal from the back half. The kick out from Tractor Jenkins was a beauty, and from there, their elite foot skill got them into the forward half. Onka's were good enough to win the footy back, but a poor handball by young Kuiper and a turnover, and off to the races went Braden Fisher and finished with a great goal.
Second goal for the skipper this afternoon, and he's pushed his side along to 8-5 to 4-8. So just opening up a little bit of a handy break here, early stages of the second half. Umpire Dennis Raymond pitches the ball. Voigt against Shell. Ball comes down. Nitsky on that left foot drives it forward. Out here is the coach and Fuller. Good defensive work there from Jeffries. Comes out to Cooper Luke. Good tackle applied to him. Comes back to the skipper, and Fuller gives it back to Nitsky. They were involved early in the play. Nitsky, well quick little smart kick. Spotted up Riley, the peg dog, just inside the centre half forward area. So Riley,
I mentioned this next 12 minutes was important for Onkas. Well, they've actually playing like a busted at the minute. Their last few minutes have been ordinary. Missed tackles, not attacking the footy well, and full credit to Lobethal. Luke Nitsky's won the last 3 centre clearances, and Riley slipped forward there, and a beautiful touch off the foot, and once again, elite foot skills by the Tigers.
So Riley posted the goal at 11 minute of the first term, so the opportunity here at the 5.5 minute mark of the third term to post his second. Sets it on its way. Looks like it's pulled a little bit too far to the left, so through for a minor score, but good enough to increase the Tigers' lead to 8-6 to 4-8 here on the quarter wall. And belatedly, we might go down to Jaden and Indy just to see how the first half panned out as far as the stats goes.
Well, one of Onka's best strengths in this game, or at least for the first half, was their centre clearance work. They'd only conceded 3 centre clearances in total in that first half. Well, so far they haven't won a single centre clearance in this quarter. They're getting dominated in the midfield, which is where they've been best in this game so far. So that's taking away a massive chunk of the team's composition ability. They need to get back up in that stat, and only 1 inside 50 to show so far as well. So really nothing clicking together at the moment. What about Lobethal?
Loby, there were 15 kicks so far and also 7 marks. So
he's on fire.
In the first quarter, they really get their forward pressure, and they're doing it again in this quarter. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brady Doy. Get in the background. Just a great one-handed mark there. Puts the ball at the half forward. Taken by Hopgood. There's a set that. I tell you what, players get around. They like that one. And well, just the pressure, as the boys have given us the stats applied up there by Riley, I think it was, in the. And Bampton just, the Dogs' defence just can't clear the ball.
And the pressure was great, and even Chipina got out of the danger zone there, but due to the perceived pressure, he turned the ball straight over. Brady Dawes just playing a fantastic middle of the game, and he took a fantastic mark there, got a ball back into a dangerous spot, and And full credit to Lobethal. They keep pounding the ball inside 50. They're going to get those scoring chances. And the young Onka's back line is starting to fall to the pressure.
So 7 minutes gone. Goldie and 3 goals to the Tigers, 2 to Hopgood, and now 1 to Fisher.
Where's the response coming from? Well, Greenslade's in the middle. Riley shrugs off his opponent. Here's the Tigers moving again. Cooper Luke, he's been good. Back to King. Goes backwards and forward. Osborne's the target. Put up the mitts. Bampton at ground level. Tried to pick up the crumbs. Tigers on the press here. They've already increased their lead now to 28 points. Early in the 8 minutes gone.
And Noah Bell getting up a little bit gingerly. I think he was the landing pad as the 6-ton of Big Jack Osborne landed on him there.
So half forward line for Lobethal. It's been all them to start the second half. Brady Dorr, he's been great.
Oh,
Paddles it into dangerous position. Here's a chance for Nitschke running onto it. Just managed
Isn't
to...
he enjoying playing finals footy? He's been superb today.
I tell you what, you talk about their expert recruiting here, Shane, but all these big-time players that come to play today, as you said, Dorr, very good. Riley just leading the way for the Tigers.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And then other players around him have really lifted, which is what you want come finals time.
Inside 50. Dorr, here he is, the big man. What's he going to do? Goes for goal. Oh, he is doing it all. He's on fire. Inspiring performance here by Brady Dorr in ruck, and he's just grabbed it out the ruck, thrown it on the right boot and kicked a lovely bit of a tumble jump goal. 10-6 Lobethal, Onka's 4 goals, 8.
I tell you, that'll be on Flynn Rogers' highlight reel of magnificent performances called there for goal. He just picked the ball out of the ruck, threw it on the boot. And, well, Tigers just charting the charge away here, Shane Collins.
Yeah, they are.
10-6 to 4-8.
Full credit to the Tigers. We obviously seen them last week, and they were a bit sketchy against the Rams, weren't they? But they've come into today, first final for many, many years, and they've really come to play and put it to Onkas, and they're too good.
So 34-point margin. The Dogs with plenty of work to do now. Dust rises from the centre pitch area. Greenslade maybe under injury, got the ball out there. Clearing kick away by Kuiper. Bouncing out wide. Once again intercepted by the Tigers. Good work there, Nitschke. He's been pretty good this afternoon. So is this young fella in Stafford. Drives it towards half forward. Fisher limbering out. Got his hands to it, but over the top. Jeffries with a mark quickly brings it out to Chipiano, who was pretty good in the first half, but they haven't seen a lot of him this afternoon in this half. As Lobethal come out of half-time firing, gets the ball up here. Good work by Voigt, brings the ball right in front of the Dreammaker. In fact, Shane Collins nearly getting a stat there. As the ball bundled over the line, and Noah Bell was in the wars once again. Gets up and hobbles off. So, right in front of the Dreammaker. Academy boy will pitch it in and be Voigt against Shell. Short pitch in. Tapped off, brilliant tap down to Jenkins and time. Quick hands to Bampton. Bampton sizes up the opportunities. He puts the ball at the run of Nitschke. Bouncing ball. The veteran gets there. Oh, intercepted by Carissa. Nitschke keeping at him. Oh, well done. Wins it back. Got to Cooper Luke. Shoots the handball out to Zaddo. Zaddo under pressure. Trying to get it back to Nitschke. Intercepted there by Carissa. Puts it forward. Oh, great ball by Stafford. Comes down. Quick hands out by Mayo. Peter comes out towards Sinot. Interception there by Lobethal. And held it up, might be Elliott, in the distance. But, yeah.
Ball camped on the half-forward line. Dogs need one desperately. Margin is now 34 points. That happened quickly. It's 10 minutes gone in the third term. 10 goals, 6 Lobethal. Onka Valley, 4 goals, 8. And I'll get you the goal kickers for the Tigers in this third term very, very shortly when we have our next stoppage. But it's not coming now because the Tigers are on the counter-attack here. Fuller, chain of handballs. Jenkins goes up the wing. Kick inside 50, cut off by Kuiper. So the Dogs have a bit of a reprieve there. Dean, back to Kuiper. Tigers pressing. And that's gone out of bounds on the full, has it? Or it's chop out mark anyway by Cooper Luke. Goal kickers so far in this term for Lobethal. Hopgood's kicked 2. Fisher's kicked 1 and Big Brady Dorr with the last goal. Lovely one out of the ruck. It's kicked in the middle of the ground. Pistols and here's the Tigers. Oh, no.
Yeah, breaking through to Fuller. He's great leadership. Got it. The Timmy, the fast captain. Jenkins puts it up. Big Jack Roberts out. Takes a mark. He had bodies running there, but pulls up rather proppy. And now he's settled and, well.
Running around behind him like Tracker Jenkins is about
Timmy Jenkins, as usual, trying to get those cheapies. But Big Jack already kicked the first goal of the game, boys, at the 2-minute mark. Has kicked 32 for the season for the Tigers. So, interesting to see here if he can nail this one and really...
He was at full speed there with that mark.
Just leans back into it a little bit, pulled it a bit to the right. So, minus score for Jack. Usually a pretty good conversion. I think 12 straight a couple of weeks ago against Chunga. So, Tigers move on to 10 goals 7. Onka Valley 4-8. Trust you're enjoying our coverage here on hillsfooty.com. Worldwide stream. Brought to you by Dartfish. Let us know where you are. Get on the hillsfooty.com site.
Yeah, hillsfooty.com and Hills Football League Facebook page, and also on Lofty today. Lofty 88.9.
Fanning's kick found Greenslade. Tries to nurse the ball. Couldn't clear the man to mark, which was Door. Ball comes back to Door. Got support there from Turpin. Was he infringed high? No, he shoots out a handball towards Jenkins, who's looming for a cheapy goal. Comes back to Pring. Pring high kick to the pocket to the lead out there of Oric, but good defensive work there. I think in distance was Kuiper.
Really just turned the screws, haven't they, Lobethal? It's very similar actually round 1 where they kicked 8 goals in a quarter to put Onkas away. They're doing it very similar here today.
So, sunny conditions here, beautiful conditions. Blue skies is also happening at Blackwood, and the Tigers are on fire. Ball comes down, Matty Dean feeds out a handball, taken by Jenkins. Handball's back over his head, intercepted by the bandaged Green. Meanwhile, the ball works along here, finally clearing kick for the Doggies, bouncing ball. Voigt, gets a cruel bounce there. Backing him up though is Elliott, who's been pretty steady this afternoon. He presses Shell close to the line. Great pick up by the Catfish. Can't get clear. Great tackle applied there by Jackie Stafford. And certainly the young
He has been outstanding today, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Great defensive work. The umpire's pointed in the wrong direction there. Anyway, Stafford ends up with the ball, gets it across here to McWaters, the boy from Ardrossan, down for the season. Chips up the line and finds Cooper Luke, gives it back to McWaters, who's run on. So far wing area, gets out wide. He's got a target here in Zaddo, puts it down in front of him. He's got young Lyons, pressure him. Good, well played by young Phoenix Lyons. Ball taken there by Bilby. Tips it forward, Webber, but chipping in a very courageous mark actually by Huckster.
Huckster's got Pring on here with the switch on the half-back flank. Then he's got Jacket Bampton versus the chip, where he goes backwards, finds Elliott in the defensive 50. So just waxing down the clock here to Tigers. 14 minutes gone, third term. Lobethal 10-7, Onka Valley 4 goals 8. Bampton coming off, Riley onto the ground. Here's a chance for the Tigers once again with the run. Riley goes to handball. McWaters on that left boot from the wing area. Goes to the half-forward line. Fisher front position. Great crumbing by Zaddo. Kick inside 50. Osborne cleverly taps it onto himself. What can the big man do here? Well, he can kick a goal on one leg.
He's out. He's on one leg and he's out-sprinted his opponent. So well done to the big fella. Mind you, 3 of his steps is about 12 of anyone else's, isn't it? But just been a fantastic target for them all day today, and they're now kicking away and thoroughly deserved. Their pressure's been
He takes a while to pull up too, Shane, because he can't put the other foot
Lucky
there
he
because
grabbed
he's
that point
stumbling.
post, otherwise he'd been out in the road.
He'd be in someone's lounge room across the road. So, 5-goal term so far, and we've only played 14 minutes of the third term, and the Tigers have they held that 10-point margin at half-time. They've skipped away now. 73 plays 32. So 41-point margin, 11-7 plays 4-8. So the Tigers, as Colo said, playing their first final since 2015 and the first final against Onka since 2010, and they're well on the way to victory. But Chipiana, he's not going to give up as he drives the ball forward. Huckster bouncing ball, and Webber, well stolen by the Dock. It's his birthday,
we go.
And he says, I'll put a bit of icing on my birthday cake and finish this off with a good running goal. So just keeps the heartbeat alive here, Shane Collins, for the Doggies.
He's just having a look at the bench, I think. Colo, you got it? Good goal?
It was a good goal.
What do you got?
Yes, I was just watching a bit of action here on the Onkas bench, and Sam Chipina just come over and asked a couple of questions about the forward-line setup that was interesting. But
Were they calling for the B-grade consultant perhaps get involved there, Colo?
might need a little bit more than the B-grade consultant, I think, at this stage.
So the Dogs pull one back, 5-8 to 11-7, as we said. Still plenty of work to do, but still time. 15 coming up to 16 minutes in the third term, but they need to get out of umpire Voigt there, just questioning the umpire. Just getting
Interesting discussion.
Yeah, umpire Mickey Taylor. No doubt Mickey would be telling him how it is. So Voigt resumes against Sleep. Voigt gets the tap down. First to get there is Nitsky. Voigt intercepted by Vines. Nitsky goes back in. Been very impressed with his game this afternoon,
Been
boys.
superb this quarter,
Nitsky,
hasn't he?
Yes, and Riley just those hard nuts around the ball.
So in the middle of the ground, 17 minutes gone. Lobethal 11-7, Onka Valley 5 goals 8. So the Tigers 5 goals in this term. Jeffrey should take the mark here at centre half back for Onkas. Reload for them from the defensive 50.
Now, tell you what, Goldie, just another sideline player up here, young Mitchell Jenkins running
Water.
so
everyone's
Triple
running
J, yeah.
a few
So-
play- Sinot takes the ball for the Dogs, so he's taken the mark. That's what he's done. Open forward line. What's he going to do? Kicks up towards, well, he kicks, is that gone out of bounds on the floor? It's taken by Cooper Skinner in the meantime for the Tigers. Good mark there for young Skinner, backing back, takes the overhead mark, kick to go on that second term. Kicks up the outer side wing. Zato, Dawes up there, ball hits the deck, out towards the boundary line. Players coming in. Eventually, it's not going to take the line. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Kick inside 50 for them. At full speed is Scholl, and it's gone out of bounds there in the forward pocket area. Lobethal 11-7. Onka's 5 goals, 18 minutes gone in the third term.
Just picturesque setting there, showing the cars behind the goals. Haven't actually seen that at the Blackwood Oval before. Like it's not a wet day to be staying there for the next 2 months. So ball tap out there, taken by King. Nurses it out wide towards Zato. He's under a lot of pressure. Got it back to Oric in turn. Carissa getting involved there, taps the ball forward. Oh, good work out there by Oric, followed up, but in the meantime the Dogs turn it back. Bouncing ball, Mayo. Can he get it? No, he's got Stafford once again.
Oh, lovely work, Mayo.
Turns out well, Mayo sets it up towards the top of the square. Shell Looms got his answer. Yes, 1-2, my grab. So Daniel Shell with a chance here. Kick his first goal of the afternoon. And just perhaps give a little bit more heartbeat towards Onkas. They trail at the moment 73-38.
On the hillsfooty.com and Hills Football League Facebook page, Kathy Keane says, go Tigers. So she's enjoying what the Tigers are delivering in this third term. Get involved in the comments on the Hills Football League Facebook page. Just click on the live feed there. Also on the YouTubes, we've got some good banter going back and forth here. Cherie Osborne says, you can do it with one leg.
He can.
He can.
It's just a family connection.
And
there,
he can kick
Cherie.
some goals too. He's
Yes,
very good.
absolutely. Trust you enjoying the call down there, and hopefully it's a sunny day down there in Hobart. As the ball comes forward through Timmy Jenkins for Lobethal, but taking back is Jeffries, Joffa, the captain. Was full captain in the absence of co-captain Brucey Kane with injuries. Checks the ball up the line.
Mayo.
And Mayo indicating he wants someone to lead. Now he puts it out here to the lead of Sinot. Sinot grabs the ball, wastes no time.
Yeah.
Oh, low underground
Lockie
pass, effective as he found Lockie Peter storming out. So Peter...
More A than C with that one, but you take them as you can. But really needs to
a little bit of push and shove. Cornish.
Bring it
and,
on, he
Riley,
says, umpire Taylor.
And Riley, he's just, So meanwhile, umpire Taylor, trying to diffuse the situation, has advanced.
Glenn Francis says, Blackwood Oval, something to watch on your Saturday after Arvo in lockdown. So there you go.
So Peter, from right in the goal square with the advanced meterage from umpire Taylor, has kicked his second goal of the game, and more importantly, the 6 for Onkas, 6-9 plays 11-7, Colo.
Yeah, very important. The last couple of goals for the Doggies. It was, if they went into three-quarter time with that deficit, it was all over. So a couple of good late goals. Riley just gave away a 50. There's a bit of frustration out there in the middle. He just needs to hold his cool. He's dominated the midfield today, to
We
be
know
fair.
he has run the rough of a yellow card for advising the umpires earlier in the season,
Yeah.
Shane.
I think he might have learned his lesson now. And
I think we talked about that on Hills Footy Unplugged with
Yeah.
the knowledgeable umpires in Neville Clark and, of course, Peter Humphreys a couple of weeks ago. But back in the centre, Glenn Godfrey sets the ball up. Voigt looked at his opponent and won the tap down. Oh, Onka's trying to get it out there through Mayo. Voigt gets it, tries to reel it in one hand, and he's taken the ground. Netsky once again over the top there of an opponent in Mayo. So once again, umpire Glenn Godfrey will come in and ball it up. Yep, brilliant conditions here this afternoon at Blackwood Oval. Ruck comes down there, and the back was in front on young King. No, said the umpire. So once again, umpire Godfrey will come in for a ball up. Goldie is coming out to 21 minutes gone. Lobe 11-7 leading Onka 6-9. Call it a while. Trust you enjoying on hillsfooty.com.
Riley bursts his way from
How
the
good.
stoppage, goes towards Cooper Skinner. Here's the link-up play, the Pring. Fends off, or tries to fend off the chip. That's holding the ball, so here's a chance for the Dogs. This could be momentum shifting. Zach George then kick inside 50, finds Lockie Peter. 22-minute mark. Another one here would be interesting for the Dogs as they head towards three-quarter time. So Lockie Peter, we're right behind it here. He's a goal kicker, no doubt about that one. This is a similar spot to where Matt Fuller kicked the goal in the second term for Lobethal. So Lockie Peter with Greenslade and also Green ready to come on. Hangs it out right and it's marked on the line.
Scholl.
Daniel Scholl.
Damien Green coming onto the ground. Looks like Cornish coming off, and Johnny Greenslade keen to come
Similar
on as
position
well.
for his last attempt.
Yeah, it'd be a tricky shot for the big fella. He
Oh, come on, you've had him in at academy. Check side, banana, specialty.
Yeah, not sure this is his
Big kick here.
Shall he tries it?
Oh, he's hit the
You
post.
just didn't listen quite enough to your Shane as he's hit the post to bring up a minor score. So Dogs 6-10, Lobie 11-7 as Goldie said, 22 minutes ticked over in third term here, qualifying final. The tractor runs out with the ball for Lobie, then goes bang up the wing, fishes the target,
Catch.
also lurking is Big Brady Dorr, takes the ball, feigned a handball to Stafford, decides to come back. So Dorr playing a very good game this afternoon, perhaps his best in Tiger colours since joining them. Fuller, the coach, brought it to the ground. Intercept there was Young Lyons. Sleep got involved. Fuller backing back into the pack is wrapped up by Mayo for the Tigers and goes to ground. Umpire Godfrey coming in. So
Glenn Francis is watching in lockdown in Melbourne, so he's having a good time enjoying the game here.
good on you, and wishing all the best to our Victorian compatriots over there. Ball comes down. Oh, taken high there was King. Managed to get the handball out. There's look away by Turpin. Found Stafford. Stafford to Voigt. Voigt gets it back off a Pring. Finds space to put a big kick towards centre forward. Getting back there and taking the mark is Ben Jeffries. Been pretty useful in defence
He
this
has.
afternoon.
Kick in the middle of the ground. Dogs need one before three-quarter time. Carissa goes to Greenslade. Fresh on the ground. Has the kick. Was nice. Finds Shoal. He's off. Here's a chance for Carissa on the run. What's he going to do?
They got to kick this.
He's
guy.
kicked a goal. The Dogs are coming. 21 points now the margin. 7-10. Onka Valley, Lobethal 11-7 as we head towards the 24-minute mark, Colo.
Yeah, much needed there. Ben Jeffries has been really important in the last 10 minutes, pulling this game back for Onkers.
Good to see young Tommy Prosser involved at passage.
Yeah, it was. He spent most of the year in the twos. Actually, first game in the ones last week, and played quite well. So Coach Paul Tanner backed him in. But yeah, just whether Onkers can keep this momentum up will be the challenge for them. Lobethal played a lot better in this third quarter, but a couple of goals late keeps the doggies in the game.
Yep, back to a 21-point margin. Had blown out to, 43 at one stage. So, done by Dennis Raymond, one of the most experienced in the comp. Will recommence play. So, Terry Sleep up against Voigt. So, the veteran Sleep wins the tap down. Green, little underground, who followed up by Sleep, who gets a tumble punt forward, bouncing ball, well trapped by Shell.
Oh, tell you what.
Divides, runs into open square. And
4
that's
goals
the
on the
finish.
trot. 4 goals on the trot for the Dogs.
And they're
Wow,
not going
what
away.
a-
Great work, and well done by Big Terrence in the centre square. Sleep took the knock, got the ball back, and then sent it down forward. And great trap by Shell, fed the ball out, and the Catfish the necessary finish. Shane Collins.
Yeah, good work by Big Sounder in the ruck. He's quite strong there and getting the ball forward. Been interesting this quarter with Dan Scholl going forward. He's taken a couple of big marks. He's strong at the ball. Really, Onka's really craving for that type of powerful forward to be there all year, but he's done a great job this quarter.
I think I've spoken to you about it many times. It always look a bit better with the big body of him down there.
Yeah, and with Adcock coming out, it's really put a hole in Onka's side, but Sleep being able to hold up the ruck and Shell going forward's been a massive advantage for
So
them.
just along from us interchange, Riley coming back on for Turpin for the Tigers as the ball being relayed back in the centre. So Brady Dorr back into the centre in the ruck duels, replacing Voigt, and he'll be up against Sleep, who was the instigator of that last goal.
Interesting forward match-up here. Young Phoenix Lions has gone Aidan Riley. You want to hope the ball doesn't come near him. Might get eaten.
Ball come out, hop, good, feeds out towards Jenkins. Jenkins got support there from King, who's been good, gets around his left foot, puts it forward, bouncing ball, well trapped by Jeffries, kept in front of him, he's locked up in a tackle though, goes to ground.
Bulldog.
Ball comes out here towards Hopgood, put his head down, he's besieged by a couple of Dogs, manages to get the ball out, Chippiana, he coughs it up, under pressure from Pring. Once again in there was Hopgood, goes to ground, Chippiana nearly lost his head in that one, still battling forward as the Chip.
Geez, contest on now, isn't it? boys?
Wow, Chip there very much fried, but he comes up with the ball. So we'll have a ball up, umpire Godfrey. Hot in the kitchen still, and why not? Space, a spot in the second semi. One down by Sleep, taken by Jenkins. Oh, a little toe poke, kick forward. Bouncing ball eludes Voigt. Oh, great approach on the ball and gathered there for the Dogs.
Jeffries again.
Was it Jeffries? Yes, the experienced Joffa Jeffries. As I said, one of the sprinkling of Nord Premiership footballers out there this afternoon.
So ball inside a defensive 50 here for the Dogs. They've kicked the last 4 goals for the match. After Lobethal kicked, how many? Well, they obviously kicked the opening 5 or something like that. Anyway, meantime, it's inside 50 here for the Tigers as we head towards the 27-minute mark of the third term. Lobethal 11-7, Onka Valley 8 goals 10. Umpire Raymond will throw the ball up. Looks like it'll be Voigt in the ruck. up against Terry Sleep. Voigt grabs it out of the ruck, tried to do a bit of a Brady Dorr, who did it earlier in the quarter. Kick outside towards the half-back flank. Here's a chance for the chip. What can he do here? On the left boot, works up the line. Carissa, who kicked the goal. Vines is coming, approaching, so is Lockie Peter. Handball from Prington, Nitschke, cut off. Good work by Webber. Gee, it's hot and heavy here. Ball's held up, centre wing. It's on. Bit of feeling.
Bring in Webber. Oh, a bit of push and shove. Chips in there and a free kick.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, sort of milked out was the Dock, and Webber goes long towards centre half forward.
Open forward line. Oh.
Ball comes to ground. Sinot following it up. Also Luke. Carissa arrives, dispossesses his Tiger opponent. Goes back. Oh, well done, Carissa. Can he get it out here? He does a green slate. Oh, loses control of the ball. And in the meantime, free kick has been paid, boys. Looks like it's going to go back to Cooper Luke, I think it is. As the Lobethal drinks the runner, plants himself in front of it. Cooper Luke. Short little kick up the line, is running onto it with King, I think.
Oh, he's dropped it. Oh, no.
And Jeffrey's just making sure that one as he goes to go. 3/4 time, boys. Country Division semi-final. Birdwood 9-8. Lead the reigning Premier Gumaraka 5-4. So Sponge Nelson and his team, bit of work to do as Fisher grabs the ball. Gets it back here to Luke. Spins out of trouble cleverly. Gets it back to King. The young gun certainly getting involved. Chips it up to Jack Andrew Bampton, who presents
well.
A good mark. He was nearly going to race off then, Jack Andrew. Got the on his bike, so to speak, with the helmet, but he decides to go back and have a set shot. So little Jackie Bampton, as I said, being quite influential in his return to the side after missing last week, Goldie. So Bampton sets towards the top of the goal square. Big Jack looms out. Little Jack to Big Jack over the top of the pack.
We've got a question here from Andrew Grivell. He wants to know how many Norwood Premiership players are on the ground at the moment.
Gee, Griv, you'd know more than that.
That could be a stats man. We'll get
we will get
Jaden J.
We'll look at the fingers going.
The fingers are going.
It's a takeover ruck by Brady Dorr.
Well, there's one Premiership player, Brady Dorr.
He has done it again, Brady Dorr. Just took the ball out of the ruck duel in the goal square and put it through. So he's second for the quarter, boys. And just when the Onkas were getting a little bit of a renaissance, it's been nipped in the bud.
Punches the balloon there, doesn't it? And that ball that caused the stoppage, Sleep could have knocked it through for a behind. He was under pressure. Well, you're not going to say it was a young fella's mistake because there's not too many older than Sleep on the ground. But, yeah, that was a bit of a silly mistake. He should have got it through for a behind and they could have reloaded. But instead, Brady Dorr showed his class.
So 11-7 Lobethal. 12-7. The ball just switched over here at Windy Hill. 12-7 to 8-10.
Here's the tractor. Timmy Jenkins soccers the ball to centre half forward against a few dogs. Chipiana got the ball from Webber, kicks it out towards centre wing. It'll be Catfish Andy Vines, but a lovely chop out mark there for the Tigers. And it's taken by Oric just in front of us here in the broadcasting position. Jaden still counting up the number of Norwood Premiership players. Do you include Giorgio? You're including Giorgio. In the meantime, Fuller. He's not playing, but he's on the field.
We'll get down to 3/4 time.
That's all right. Matty Fuller, he's one. Kicks the ball towards centre wing. Here's another Premiership player for Norwood, Brady Dorr, but meantime it's gone over the top of his head, and that's 3/4 time. Lobethal 12-7, Onka Valley 8 goals 10. And Colo's going to head out there. How many players we got, Jaden? Players, we'll say players.
Yeah, so we've got Dorr, Webber, and Jeffries. Did Fuller win one?
Yeah, Matt
Fuller.
Yep.
So,
before he went over, yep.
Four.
Actually, there's a couple.
Giorgio 5, obviously.
Could say there's a couple of club best and fairest at the Norwood as well, Jay.
And then I reckon if you want to go SNFL...
And 3 Sturt Premiership players.
You're about to say that, SNFL, you got 3 Sturt Premiership players as well there, so...
There's a few running around there, Jaden. And, well, while we've got the opportunity for you boys, stats that matter.
Cheers, Bristol. So, yeah, 44 kicks, 29 handballs, and 19 marks there for Lobie, including 16 forward 50 entries. So, yeah, the first half of that quarter, they were really good. They transitioned the ball through the middle really well. They used this side quite a bit, and their forward pressure was fantastic. But virtually, Onkas did the opposite in the second half of that quarter to them, and they were just too good. Onkas, they just through the middle and used this side again. Lockie Peter was really good in the forward 50. Indy?
Yeah, well, it's obviously an opposite story for Onkas. They were completely ran over in that first half of the quarter. mostly from centre clearances. Only 4 for the quarter, which is actually pretty good, but considering how high scoring it was for both teams, I actually feel like they lost more centre clearances than they gained. I think what was particularly noteworthy was probably their work and setup behind the ball, because what they tried to do in the second quarter was get some extra numbers behind the line, and they weren't as fussed about winning those centre clearances. And Onkas are definitely a first ball user team. But they improved a lot in the marking stat as well. 50 marks is their best in the game per quarter so far, with 6 marks inside 52, so they started hitting targets more. But really, that first half was an absolute annihilation, so unfortunately that did hold them back a bit. In that quarter, the scores were 4-3, 6-2 in Lobethal's way, so it wasn't a smashing, but again, had they not conceded maybe just 1 or 2 extra goals, then the game would still be at pretty much the same margin as it was at half-time. So we'll just have to see if Onkas can keep up enough energy and enough pace to hit some targets in this last term, and that's really what they need. But they need to keep some midfield composure, because let's look at Tib Weber. He's playing a great game, but he only had 1 tackle in that quarter, which was his lowest so far. And then Chipiana, lots of kicks so far, but his tackling pressure's also down. So that's just what we're looking at the moment. I think the midfield grunt is still there, but maybe the tackle pressure is easing off a bit. So they want to keep that up, but they also want to focus on their composure, because the Lobethal have been outstanding with their ball use. But enough from me. Let's get back to the field.
Good on you, boys.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this last quarter, boys, because Lobe averaged a score of 34.8 and Onkas averaged a score of 24. And like in the game early in the year against Blackwood, they scored a score of 43 points, Onkas did. So, you know, they can run amok in this last quarter, but, you know, Lobethal good in the last quarter too. So, very interested in this last quarter, boys.
Thank you very much. There to Jaden and Indy, and well, the
Dingo's letting rip.
Yeah, I just say very animated there during that 3/4 time huddle. Coach Paul Tanner realising his side, well, job in front of him, 21-point deficit at this moment. Lobethal, 7 points at quarter time was the margin. They extended to 10 points at the half time, and that, as I said, a 6-goal to 4 third term has seen them open to 21 points as we turn for home. Lobethal 12-7, Onka Valley 8-10. Goldie.
Colo?
And we'll go down to Shane Collins.
Yeah, thanks, Pistols. Just went to both huddles there. It's great they're so close to us, but yeah, Lobethal just spoke. Brady Dorr grabbed the boys and said, as you can see with Onkas, they can get their tail up real quick and kick goals, so they need to stick to their game plan for the whole 25 minutes of the last quarter. So they really acknowledge the fact that Onkas have some real good scoring power, and they've got to maintain that pressure through the midfield. Paul Tanner was quite negative towards the boys' first 10 minutes of that quarter. He said they'd done it to themselves. They didn't work hard enough. They didn't use their voice. They thought it would just naturally happen, and it didn't. So he's asked for a big effort in those areas. So we'll see how we go here in the last quarter.
Good on you, Colo. Thank you very much. So the Tigers turn for home, 21 points ahead. Meanwhile, 3/4 time, once again, Country Division semi-final. Birdwood 9-8, a leading Gumaraka 5-4. So the reigning Premier will have a bit of work to do to overhaul the Roosters. Same as the Doggies here, as I said, 12-7.
Similar margin to Blackwood leading Onkas last time we saw the Dogs.
You wouldn't be far off.
Could be well. Okay, we're underway. Last term, qualifying final. Ball comes down, taken by Nitsky. Feeds the ball out to Huckster, who in turn gets it back to Riley, who works through traffic, gives it back to Nitsky. Now 1-2, drives it forward, half forward, push and shove there. Osborne tried to attempt to smother. Bouncing ball, Lions getting involved. Phoenix Lions loses the ball. Dogs under pressure already in the opening minute this term. Great tackle applied there. Holding the ball was the call. Yes, says umpire Godfrey.
One thing I did here, Paul Tanner asked his mids to be man-on-man at all stoppages, and there you saw first bounce, Luke Nitschke standing on his own, so
well,
not adhering to the message.
Well, he's still on his own now,
yeah.
Colo, if you look out there. So free kick taken by Phoenix Lions. The youngster puts it out wide. That's a good mark taken out there by Carissa on the half-back flank area in the sun bleached wing half-back flank. Ball up there. Elliott uses his body on his opponent, finally toe poke forward. I think it was Greenslade. Attempted mark there by Prosser. Ball comes to ground. Fuller's handball attempt was deflected. Bouncing ball out there. Finally picked up around the corner, curled by Greenslade. Getting his hands to it was Mayo, the umpire Raymond, and the spot says yes, has paid the mark, or maybe chopping Goldie.
Well, the dogs are barking.
Yes, you can hear in the background.
It might be
They
a sign.
are indeed. So could be an omen. So, Tommy Mayo, already goal kicker today. Goldie has kicked 17 in total for the year, so we know he get the journey. As said one of the astute students at Collo's Academy, and if ever they need a goal, as they try by 21 points. So Mayo, a little bit shot here towards the entrance end of Millionaires Row, end of the Windy Hill ground. So approaches, sets a drop punt on its way. I tell you, nothing wrong with that. Straight over the head of the goal umpire. So that's the start they needed, Shane Collins, as they pull it back.
Yeah, they did. They needed to get away early, and if just remembering, I'll just go back again. Onka's last quarters have been really good in the back half of the year, and even early in the year against Lobethal, they really come home hard. So they did mention that at three-quarter time, that they've got the legs to overrun them. But you know, they're going to need to keep pouring this pressure on and get that scoreboard ticking over.
We got some legends watching the game today. Michael Fitzner says, great to see HFL legends Tim Larkin, Ryan Hunter and Simon Noonan all watching the coverage. So there you go. They're all getting involved. Lobethal 12-7. Onka Valley 9 goals 10. 15 points the margin. 2 minutes gone in the final term. So the Dogs through Weber. Kick inside 50. 1-on-1. Mayo, he's dangerous. He's looming there in the forward line. Kicked 7 last week. Into the pocket area. Umpire. Duck the chutney. Bit of a coat hanger. Umpire Raymond on the scene. So free kick to Cooper Skinner, one of the talented players in this Tigers lineup, and finds Matty Fuller, the coach. Always good to do pistols, kick the coach.
Absolutely, want a game next week. You got that young Stafford, he was nearly off, but he was well held up there by Jeffries. Just thinking, boys, tomorrow Mount Barker in the final will be the first time in about 100 years that we haven't seen a Simon Noonan run out in the final for Mount Barker in the A grade. So, of course, playing B grade this year after a great career, 360 odd games. Meanwhile, ball down here. Osborne
Everyone's got their
pleading
arms
for a
out.
free kick, but yeah, 3 for a minor score for Lobie. So ball worked up by the Dogs. Greenslade puts it out wide here to the bandage. Green pushes his opponent off as he takes possession. Oh, he's held up by Riley. Finally, quick kick away by Jeffries, bouncing out wide. First get to be McWalter for the Tigers. He's got 2 to beat actually as the Dogs converge. Comes back here to Cooper Luke. Gets it back here to Stafford. Finally, McWalter's got a clever little tap on there to Luke. Good work by the Tigers, puts it up to Fisher, got his hand. So there's Jack Bampton looming. Oh, coughs it up, goes back and gets it. Quick little handball.
Fisher
back
on his
to
left.
Fisher. The skipper puts it at the top of the square. Big Jack Osborne got his dukes to it. Off the ground, apparently by Dorman.
Oh, someone's done a back heel.
I think it was Osborne.
Oh, no.
Perhaps.
Someone's done a back
Umpire
heel.
decided
We're
in the
going
meantime-
upstairs.
We'll go upstairs in the
Made
meantime.
something. In danger, I think.
In danger, yes.
Okay.
Osborne's toe poke, so resultant free kick will go to
Weber.
Weber nurses up the line, finds the second gamer in Phoenix Lions. Of course, brother of my boy, Malaki. Anyway, high kick towards the wing area, set himself a shoe against Voigt. Ball comes to ground, there's Andy Vines. Under pressure, gets a wobbly kick forward. Oh, Terence Stamp traps it, Terence Sleep, sorry. Gives it back to Terence Stamp, the actor. Oh, a bit of an area there from Sherrill. In the meantime, what's he paid?
That is a great tackle by Cooper Skinner.
Yep.
Well played.
So Cooper Skinner takes the ball back from whence it came, limbering it. Oh, bouncing off the chest of Fisher. Ball comes in, Pring. Illegal disposal. Pring takes the ball, called to advantage as he races forward, sets it up the bench. Big Gozzy puts up the Dukes. Oh, great ball there by Fanning. Ball comes to the pocket. Little Jack Bampton, high kick towards the top of the square. Back there is Big Jack. Can he get his boot to the ball? No. Lines in there under pressure. Was he held? Yes, he was. So he'll relieve the pressure. Still pretty frenetic out there.
Lines. Oh, he's called on here, so he can come
50.
through the middle of the ground and potentially kick the ball forward. If Big Terry sleeps awake here, he can get on the end of this.
That's right.
Terry's just got to turn around.
It's a pretty generous 50, isn't
So
it?
Lions kick inside 50. Sleeps around the area. A couple of Tigers went up. Ball hits the deck. Here's a chance for Timmy Jenkins. Slick handles Zanitschke.
Too good.
Here's Stafford. Kick inside 50, towards the half-forward line. At the back of the bus was King. Went up. Crumbed his own marking attempt on his left boot. Kick inside 50 to Bampton. What can he do here? Went one way, then the other. Goes backwards. Here's King. Stops props. Good work from the Dogs' defence. Players crashing in. One of them was Bampton, of course. On hands and knees, shovels the ball out. Tried to get it to Pring. Dogs' defence holding up half-forward line.
Still just great attack on the ball, Bampton. Also, I think it was George Dent there, Colo.
His game on at the moment, isn't it? It's
still
game
is.
right in the
16
balance.
points the margin, 6 minutes gone. We know what the Dogs are like on the last term. Of course, they surged home against Blackwood Pistols in the last time we called them.
So last year's grand finalist fighting a deficit here. Goldie's had 16 points, bouncing ball. Cooper Luke.
Oh,
he's
Shoal!
just barreled over. Shoal just ran over the top of Cooper Luke then and forced a scrimmage situation. So a ball up, umpire Godfrey on the spot. So still plenty in this game, that's for sure. 6 minutes gone, 16-point margin, 80 plays 64. Call of the Wild Hills football qualifying final. Trust you enjoy it. Pushing the ball forward is Riley, the big-time player. Past Crow, Demon sets sail. But this one's wide, but good enough to make it 17-point margin.
Yep.
Got to watch
17
Riley off stoppages is really important here. Jacob Crisser was in a perfect spot and unfortunately spilt the ball. That's the little half chances they won't want to give the Tigers late in the game.
Jeffries brings it into Kuiper, goes down the middle. Sinnott was the target.
There he is
Into
again.
dangerous position. Here goes the Riley. Went to handball to the tractor. Set sails
Mark this one down
for a point.
for a point.
So the Tigers are peppering. It's now 3 goals even. 8 minutes gone. Plenty of time. Onka's just taking a bit of a breath here as the ball goes down the cliff, and Jeffries will probably bring the ball back in. Looks like Bilby and Cornish keen to come on here for the Dogs. They're just retrieving the ball.
So 18-point margin, as Goldie said. Coming out the 7.5 minutes gone. Final term 12-10, 82 plays the Doggies, 9-10, 64. So still plenty of time if they get a hurry up.
Just got heads up, a bit of royalty here today. The Premier, Mr. Marshall, is here enjoying the
Really?
game. Yeah.
Well, it's one that you're down here with us. It wouldn't be.
He
up there,
asked
mate,
actually
but
where I was,
you'd
and
miss
someone.
it.
That's why someone.
You mixing those high circles, as we know. So, chance here for the Dogs. Bring it out. Clearing kick up the centre. Big pack forms. Bouncing ball taken by Greenside. Slick little handball out to Vines. He runs and was stopped by
great
Door.
hands.
Ball comes back here though to the Dogs. Carissa puts it up towards the forward line. Oh, cleverly tapped forward by Peter. Huxter's the first to get there for the Tigers. He's got support as he goes backwards here. And I think it was Elliott versus the ball up. Oh, big clash there. Skinner, first to regain his feet though, was young Prosser. Can he do something special?
Oh.
Puts it to the top of the square off
Dangerous
hands.
position, Mayo.
Still a chance for Mayo. Limbers. Oh, too high, she cried. And very lucky there, Elliott, to get out of trouble.
He's
there.
been very good today, Elliott.
Just on the tee for goal here, so he relieved the pressure. But the Dogs still pressing with great enthusiasm. So Elliott out wide, half back area. He'll look at it for Fisher. The
He's held
skipper,
on.
was he brought down? Was he basketball terms tunnelled? And he'll get the free kick. The skipper, who's been pretty good this afternoon, kicked a couple of goals, Goldie.
Fisher, Voigt barking instructions here from the other wing. Maybe he was saying kick at the door. Doors kicked a couple of goals in that third term, which was crucial. Gets onto that trusty left boot.
Nonchalantly.
Yeah, very, very nonchalantly. Here's Zato. Voigt's pressing on here after he was barking instructions from that wing. Dangerously to Cooper Luke. Held up. Doors moved on again. There's plenty of players inside 50 here for the Tigers. So Cooper Luke, kick inside 50. Osborne's the target. Ball's crashed. Good hands from Shoal. Here's a chance for the Catfish, Andy Vines, who kicks it out towards Colo.
Hey, it's me. It's all
And
me.
that's found touch. Calling for deliberate. He was clearly going for Colo.
Yeah, correct. I've been here all day.
Two number 7 is on the ground for the Dogs. So the Academy boy will pitch the ball back in. Voigt and Shell arrive. Double-handed down by Voigt. Leading the race for the ball was Green. Good work at ground level. Got the chip. Chip shows a bit of pace as he puts it up forward, but only as far as Cooper Skinner, who just blocks the line in front of Peter. Takes a relieving mark.
Oh,
Now runs around and well played, young
That's
man.
confidence.
Gets it down, but only far back to the Catfish Vines, who takes a tumbling mark. Wing area for the Dogs. A trail 64-82. 10 minutes just ticked over, Goldie.
Next kick's important. 18 points the margin. Andy Vines, kick inside 50. Peter will fly off. Chop out mark. Lovely stuff there by Elliott.
she's been good.
He'd have to be close in their top 5. That's 4 this
Yeah,
afternoon.
him and Stafford have really done a great job back there
Elliott
today.
kicks it up to the wing.
Oh, this is me again, I reckon, Benny.
Door. Jeez, he's just casually takes marks. It's brilliant.
Actually,
Had a little look at young Phoenix there.
you could have gone out and got an interview him as he took that mark. Yeah, close to that.
Young
Close
Lions versus Brady Door. So Door goes to half forward line. Who's the target down here? Well, it's Riley who earns a free kick for a high tackle.
No, Cornish is it? Wants to go on with it. Riley just Riley smile. Just has a little chat to the bench there at Onkas and goes on the right foot. He's got a lead here,
Good
which he
kick.
honours to the coach, as we say. Always good to kick to the coach. But Riley, just that pig dog attitude, Colo, coming to forward the big games, isn't it?
Every club loves him, and then every club that plays against him hates him. But he's just a quality player, isn't he?
Yep.
He's well, we spoke at half time to the Harndorf coach, and he said he rates him as one of the best
Yeah.
in and under players and contested players that he would definitely seen in country footy. So
Well, he's pretty handy at AFL level and SANFL as
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
12 minutes gone.
Especially SANFL, here's the past Nord club at champion in Fuller. Can he batch another goal for his side?
Oh, that's floated, but it's
Oh,
there.
it's a floater,
Tell you
but
what,
it's
he's
straight through the middle.
floated it through. So 13-10 plays 9-10 now. And Matty Fuller, his second of the afternoon. So actually the first goal of the term for the Lobethal Football Club. Took them, said 12 minutes to get it, but yeah, just consolidating that lead now. So Matty Fuller's been a pretty good leader out there this afternoon, Collo.
He has. He's played sensational. When he's been needed, he's stood up a few times, kicked some goals, been really measured in the way he's played, and very hard job to be playing coach. He does it very, very well.
So 24-point margin now as the shadow's starting to lengthen, and so's the task for the doggies. Need to get a hurry on
They're out
taking out. Good work out by the big man in Voigt. Drives the Tigers forward. Off the chest there of Fisher. Follows up. He's under a lot of pressure there from Kuiper. Kuiper ball bounding around there. His young Lions getting involved again. He's taking the ground. The tackle applied there by Turpin, I think it was. Ball coughed out here finally. Sweeping handball out of the Terrence Sleep. He gets the ball up the line, lifted the eyes and finds Tommy Prosser.
Off we go. Prosser wants the chip running for him. The chip goes to Catfish, Andy Vines. Flat-footed, dropped what he should have taken there. Lucky to get out of that one. Here's a chance for Jeffries. Goes to Webber, goes to Greenslade, through the middle of Blackwood. Kick inside 50, finds Lockie Peter. Drop the overhead mark. Coming through for support was Henry Voigt. He'll kick it out towards Bampton, and the Tigers are away.
Bampton nurses up the line, finds the other experienced man in Jenkin, the tractor. Gavers shoots forward to the skipper. His successor in Fisher. Oh, he coughs it up there. Meanwhile, the whistle has gone close to the boundary line. Is in fact over the boundary line. But gee, the athleticism of Voigt, Shane Collins, been very impressed with him this afternoon as well.
He's done some really good things around the ball, hasn't he? And, you know, it's been a 2, even 3-pronged attack against Dan Scholl today, and Lobethal have done a really good job in winning that ruck, and even on the ground around the ruck contests, both Brady Dorr and him have been excellent.
So Jeffrey steals the ball from the boundary throw in and nurses it up the line, then finds Vines. Better grab that time for Vines. He nurses across to the birthday boy in Webber. He's got a loose man out here in Young Lions. Phoenix, will Phoenix rise? They get a bit of hurry on as they trail by 4 goals. 88 plays 64. Taken by Prosser. Chips it into, I thought umpire Godfrey was going to get a position there, but behind him was the Catfish. Takes a mark, puts inside. Here's Peter lurking. Ball comes to ground.
Great work.
Gets it back
Bilby
here to the Bilby. Bouncing ball. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Did Huckster get there in time? He did. Just nurses it over the line.
It's a long way when it's bouncing uphill, isn't it? Would have been easier if it was running downhill, but well done again to the Lobie defence.
Kick in from Huckster, finds Fuller.
This is one thing they've done too easy all day. They've got out of this back half really well.
Hopgood straight on the ground, looking to take a mark here. Good mark there by Dan Scholl. So the Dogs, 23 points down. Need to get a bit of a wriggle on again. Jeffries, kick towards centre half forward, chop out by Nitschke. Couldn't take the mark though. Greenslade around the action. Umpire coming in, umpire Taylor, and says, I'll have it. Centre half forward area.
Country Division update. Getting deep into the final term. Birdwood 10-10 lead Gumaraka 6-7.
Oh, well done to the Roosters. They've done a really good job this year, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Umpire Taylor. Game probably 601 or something like that now. Throw the ball up, centre half forward area. So 23 points the margin, 16-minute mark. Tigers in a good position. Looking potentially forward to a shot against Harndorf in the second semi-final.
I'd be pretty keen to do better than the last. That were 102
Yeah.
points, I think, which probably doesn't show the real margin between first and second. But Harndorf, such a powerful side. It's being a powerful, good tackle applied there by a couple of Dogs.
You know, in an interesting position. We've had 3 ball uppers in a row here. This is where I just wonder, do players know that you can third man up in the Hills Footy League?
Yeah, well, there you go. We talked about it. It was funny. Meanwhile, Vines swoops, good pickup. His tackle gets it out to Shell. Shell shoots a handball out there to Carissa. What's it for him? He's a difficult position in the pocket. I tell you what, he's done very well.
Okay.
I tell you what, that is a fantastic goal when you consider the situation he was by Carissa. It just gives the Dogs a little bit of hope here, Shane.
Yeah, well, would they kick 4 goals in about 8 minutes in the third quarter? They need to do the same right now, and they'll give themselves a chance.
So back in the middle. Still plenty of time. 16-minute mark. 17 points the margin now. And a few changes here at ground level. Plenty of action. So umpire Godfrey will throw the ball up. It'll be Sleep versus Voigt in the ruck. Important clearance you'd feel. Around the actions, Weber. Ball shoveled out. Greenslade. Here's a chance. Green. Got a clearance, but it's chopped off there by Stafford. Here goes to Bampton. Tigers are on. Kick inside 50. Tall Tempers down there and Fisher. Umpire says play on. It's gone into the forward pocket. So Tigers have moved the ball inside 50. 17 minutes gone. 17 points the margin.
So Throne will take Railway into the ground. As Benny Goldfinch said, Tigers needing a bit of a hurry on 10, 11, 13, 10. So they trail 17 points. Ball throwing Door to do the ruck work. Gets it down. Then almost kicked it through himself with a clearance.
He's done that twice.
Locked it at ground level. A couple of them have resulted in goals. Oh, nearly a clearing kick out there again by Door. Ball rolling scrimmage. And finally the umpire will come. Umpire Taylor will ball it up. 601 games for Mickey Taylor. All quality too, Shane. As the throw up. Ball comes down. Locked up was Weber. Bit of push and shove off the ball. Riley once again involved. And Green, yeah. He just would love this sort of situation, the Pig Dog. So, ruck drill. Going to ground was a Door, but still managed to get a tick away. Clearing kick. Yeah, Sinnott was looming.
Great
but
mark.
good mark taken out there. By,
Luke, I
Luke,
reckon.
is it? Yeah, Cooper Luke. Another one as we've mentioned throughout the afternoon, the young Tiger Cubs. Himself, Stafford, Oric, all the face of perhaps the Tigers working back to another dynasty of successes they had in the past. But first finals here since 2015, so they'll be looking to be more consistent major round performers in the future. So he sets it on the way, top of the square. They gather, get his hand to it.
Oh, Nitschke.
Nitschke almost a Hindmarsh Stadium strike there as the ball relayed out. Catfish got it off to a teammate there, chases up the line.
Lines.
Taken by there. Comes back here to Green with the headband. Looks like a front row for the All Blacks. Gets the ball out of the Greenslade. In turn, overcooks the kick to Mayo, bursting through his Voigt. Voigt got the Bampton, who overcooked it himself. Was it infringed? No. Bampton at ground level, gets it out. Well played, Jackie Bampton. Well done there by Luke. Got it out to Voigt, who was involved initially. Tumbles one forward into the forward pocket area and just eludes Door as he limped out.
That was the moment for me. That was the moment. Onkas were off and running through the middle of the ground. They just need to find a target, get a forward 50 entry if they kick that goal then. But they're just not making the most of these half chances.
So 19 minutes gone. Shane, you're calling it? 13-10 to 10-11?
Ball's inside 50.
Give me 30 seconds, Pistols.
Clearing kick. It's gone out of bounds. And Matt Fuller looking to come onto the ground here. Maybe not.
There's a surprise. There's another blue with Riley, and there's an Onkas player lying on the ground. He might have cleaned another one up.
So
very strong at the footy.
So boundary throw in. A couple of trainers coming onto the ground for the Dogs player. Here's a chance for Greenslade. Trying to collect the ball. Edge of the centre square. And umpires coming in.
Final score, boys.
Free kick for the Tigers.
Sorry, Goldie, just to interrupt. Final scores from Kersbrook, Birdwood 10-10 have defeated Gummeraka 7-7. So a 21-point margin to the Roosters, who go into the preliminary final. But funnily enough, so do Gummeraka.
Kick inside.
Great kick.
50, and that's a lovely pass. Find Steve Huckster. So a lovely lace-out pass there for the Tigers.
Turpin, I reckon.
Turpin, sorry. What did I say?
Huckster.
Yeah.
26,
Close,
25.
close, yeah, we know.
Kite Turpin.
Must be the sun in your eyes there, Goldie.
So
speaking of sun, Colo, like the shadows are falling. You want a jumper out there?
No, it's actually a nice, beautiful day here at Blackwood. What else would you expect?
Brilliant spring day.
This will probably ice it here. 23 points the margin will be if he kicks this. And he does.
Likes it.
Kai Turpin, of his first of the afternoon. That's just extended. Probably the carpenter with the nail, I'd suggest, Shane Collins.
Yeah, you can hear the nails are starting to go in. Look, they've been the better side all day, to be fair. Onkas couldn't just conjure enough to steal it. They've had their moments, but they just haven't been good enough for long enough. And full credit to Lobethal. Every time Onkas have come at them, they've stood up, and their senior players have done a great job, but also a couple of their young players. You know, we spoke about their back half. Stafford's been excellent. Elliott's been excellent. A couple of those sort of middle-of-the-road players have played out of their skin today, so well done to Lobethal.
So back in the centre. Taken by Green, got it out in Mayo, managed to get out of trouble and sends the Dogs forward. Target up there was Peter off hands.
Webber.
Taken by Webber, feigns a handball across to Bilby, the goal kicker. But on this occasion, he's pushed it wide through for a minor score. So 10-12, 14-10 Lobethal. So the Dogs, look like they have some work to do to remain in the hunt for the flag. They play, of course, the winner of the game you'll hear tomorrow on hillsfooty.com. Of course, Mount Barker playing at Blackwood. So ball comes out here wide. Jack Zaddo works it forward for the Tigers. Intercepting it was Jeffries. Tried to find George Dent. Chipiana getting involved as well. Still working hard. He's locked up. It's a Brady Daw down in front.
He might have just got a shadow there. He just tripped over the big
fella.
fella.
Yeah, it's not a cricket pitch, but the invisible man's out again.
We won that ruck contest decisively. Out towards Hopgood, under pressure from the chip. It's gone out of bounds. 23-minute mark, final term. Lobethal 14-10. Onka Valley 10 goals 12. Half forward line now.
It's actually fantastic for those Lobethal people watching to know Brady Dawes played a full game today, got through really well and played exceptionally well.
Daw brings it down, ground to Green. Opposition, Vines, chain of handballs, ends up with Vines, little short pass, finds Sinnott. He's got Bilby on him board here, and that's a shanky shank. He's found the opposition player. Jake Ulrich's counter-attack. Here's Riley King, meantime. He'll kick inside 50, so it should have been down the other end of the ground. Meantime, here's a chance for the Tigers to kick a goal and seal the game. Zaddo goes to Osborne.
Big Jack.
There you go, that's the difference.
It is the difference, Benny. Great call. There was
by about 20 metres.
40 metres open running into an open goal, Bilby, and Sinnott unfortunately on the back foot and pulled the kick, and that's all she wrote.
So Big Jack Osborne, chance to kick his third of the afternoon. Of course, finished second on the line around at goal kicking tally Goldie with 31 behind Joel Ace. So Big Jack, of course, past Sturt premiership player, coached South Gawler last season. Sets on its way, guides it through. He loves it. So third to Big Jack, and the 15th to Lobethal, 15-10 to 10-12. So the Tigers will be advancing to the second semi-final. And you mentioned about Lobethal. Well done to anyone watching. I know the Tigers supporters have stuck through and they've had some lean times, the Tigers.
Absolutely. And
good to see them back in the finals. They said first time since 2015, and they're going to celebrate it with a win.
Oh, great call, mate. And it's easy to sit back and, they'd sit back and criticise at times, but they make a decision in the off-season. We're going to go out and we're going to recruit, and we've got to get some players into the group, and they've done a fantastic job with it. And they recruited for their needs, and now it puts them into a big final that they're looking at jumping into a grand final. So
may well be the most improved side in the comp chain. Back in the centre, ball comes here, Jenkins.
Like saying
kick goes higher and goes longer. Ball comes out here. Carissa and Oric juggling there. Storming through with Zaddo, left the ball behind. Going to be mopped up here by Jeffries, gets a quick kick away, but only as far as little Jackie Bampton. He has been good. Great to see him back in the side. Nurses across to another one of those Tiger players who's waited a long time for success. Timmy Jenkins, the pass skipper, puts it up here. Lumbering out here is Fisher.
Push out.
He's pushed out his opponent, paid to advantage, taken by Shipiana, who's worked pretty hard this afternoon. Kicks up the wing, but once again a turnover. They must have colour blindness, Collos. He's just picked out a black and gold jumper. Pretty easy. Intercepted by Vines. Clever little dinky kick to Bilby. Let's see if he can do better this time. He's got bearing down as Elliott. He slips a tackle, gets a wobbly kick, and perhaps should have done better than that.
That's the Tigers' day, and full credit to Elliott there.
Yeah.
He come from the blind side and really went for it. And well done. That's the way they've played all day, so full credit to them.
Boundary throw-in, inside attacking 50 for the Dogs as we head towards the 25-minute mark. Can't be much time left. Scholl does the ruck work. Coming through with Stafford there. Nitschke paddles it cleverly towards Pring, picks it up nicely. Here's the counter-attack, is it? Timmy Jenkins trying to pick it up. 3 Dogs around him. Pring did nicely. Went with the left handball out towards Bampton. It's been around the contest all day, and it's held up half-forward line for the Dogs.
Just some of these guys really stepping up here. Benny Pring, great game this afternoon. As said, Elliott has stepped up to the big time here this afternoon. And as we said, the youngsters, King, Oric, etc. playing some really handy roles this afternoon for the Tigers, which is a system into the second semi. So they've hit the ton, 15-10 to Onka's 10-12. So what's that, 28-point margin in favour of the Tigers as 26 minutes is just about to tick over.
Pass, Carissa finds Bilby.
Bilby? He's only kicked the one for this afternoon. He's had a couple of chances and perhaps 14 goals for the season, boys. He's been a bit astray as little Jack Andrew Bampton comes off the interchange bench right in front of us. So well-deserved break, and our man Riley goes back on. Meanwhile, Bilby has a shot at goal, but I tell you what, not much enthusiasm as I think they realise it's for a lost cause. Colo, as he puts through the Dogs' 11th goal, though, 11-12 to 15-10. As we said, 26.5 minutes gone. Final term and the call of the wild here, Colo.
Yeah, well done. It's a bit of junk time at the moment. Well done to Lobethal. Their sights are set, and Onkas will be looking at next Sunday now, and they're going to have to regroup and find their feet again. And a fantastic game we've got to have it ahead of us tomorrow as well, so it'll be interesting to see who they come up against.
Yep, Father's Day special, as we said. Don't forget that, 2 p.m. once again, hillsfooty.com. Get
Great
involved
gift.
as ball comes back out the Jenkins. The tractor steams down the corridor towards Big Jack Osborne. He got the ball down, Matty Dean, quick hands, got it to Fanning.
There it is.
And that's all she cried, as you can hear the siren go in the background to complete a very good performance by the Tigers. As they ran out winners 15-10, 100 to Onka Valley, 11 goals, 12. So 22-point margin there, Goldie, for college, Scott Creek College. Maths all right?
Dallas.
And Shane Collins is heading out, isn't he? He's going to grab a post-match interview. I don't think it'll be with umpire Taylor, maybe. And just Mitchy Jenkins there, as we said, another one of the injured Tigers, because Alex Giorgio out injured, and of course Harry Viney, who may well be
Richard Kleeman says, well played, Lobie. Good call, guys. So
good on you, Dickie. And of course the man who was involved in sort of putting this all together, coaching some of the lean times, but yeah, Yvonne Martlew, not happy, bit of bugger, but yeah, Ben Craig here, Goldie.
Can't wait for more Tiger domination in the Bees tomorrow.
So great to have your input.
Colo's finding someone out there, is he?
He's
got
waiting. I
someone?
think he's got Luke Nitsky, one of the best
kids.
performers. So we'll go over to Shane Collins.
You're right, come in here, kids, stand in front of you.
King of the kids as
Just
usual,
stand in, you've got
Colo.
to watch over there though, watch over there. Thanks, Pistols. Have a look at this. This is what footy's all about. And what about this bloke? Luke Nitschke, you're like a bottle of wine, mate. You're getting better with age, hey? How exciting, not only for the club, but for you, mate, winning finals and having a shot next week to get into a GF.
Yeah, it's exciting. So we've had a fairly consistent year. I think last week, obviously, we went down by a point against Nan, which I think a bit of a wake-up call. We know we can play really good footy when we switch ourselves on and put the pressure, for 4 quarters, which I think the boys did really well today for most of the game. So, yeah, it is exciting. I think we're up and about, and it's a great position to be in after being down the bottom for a few years now, so it's great.
And that's the thing I wanted to focus on for yourself. You come back, committed back to coming back to Lobethal, played there for a while now and done a great job. Must be so exciting for you. You get some players in and really looking at a good finals campaign.
Yeah, it is exciting. I think I've been fortunate with the off-season with picking up some really key recruits, and the young fellas are just growing with the senior players in the team. So, yeah, we're up and about, and I think all we can do is just keep putting our best foot forward, and we're hard off next week, so we'll give it a shake.
And like the kids all here, we're all excited. I'm pretty excited by some of the kids that Lobie have got going around too. There's some beauties there. Young Luke on the wing. A few of those boys around. Elliot's getting better and better at all times. Mitchy Jenkins didn't play today. He just said he'll be back in next week. Really exciting young kids as well.
Well, that's right. The young fellas, it's great because we need a bit of speed. Obviously, we've got the senior heads, but you need that youth just to carry the footy. And they're growing. They're getting a lot more confident. Hoppy kicked a couple of goals, and he looked really sharp. And Cooper Luke, he's quick, so basically I think the old heads give it to those boys and off they run. So yeah, we need those boys to be playing well each week because they're super important for us.
And on a personal front, mate, I thought you played super today, really good. Get a bit of time through the midfield, obviously Viney out today. Was that a bit extra time for you to get through the midfield today?
Yeah, more so, because we want, I guess, a mixture of speed and bigger bodies, so I think Harry's that big midfielder. So sadly, he's out for quite some time with a knee injury, so we'll miss him for the rest of the year. So shout out to you, Harry, if you're tuning in, mate. Yeah, recover well, and yeah, hopefully he's back next year.
Good on you, mate. Well played today. Excellent. Really looking forward to next week already. What do you reckon, kids? Go the Lobie Tigers, eh? There you go. So well done, Lukey. Quality player and a quality bloke, and done a fantastic job for both the Nord Football Club and now his home club in the Lobethal Tigers. So full credit to the Tigers today. 15 goals, 10, 100 to 11, 12, 78. Far better side than Onka's today, and they thoroughly deserve what was, in the end, a good, comfortable win. So cross back to you boys in the Dreammaker.
Thank you very much there to Shane Collins. And Lobethal completing the job. They led by 7 points at quarter time, 10 points at half time, 21 points at three-quarter times, and ending up with a 22-point margin. And it was great to see there, Colo. It was like Colo king of the kids, as we did the grand final a couple of years ago.
Oh, well, what a fantastic thing. I didn't touch on it too much with Luke, but for him to come back to Lobethal and his kids seeing Dad play and playing good A-grade footy and playing finals footy, and that's what country footy's all about, and that's what Lobethal's club's all about.
Now
so
we have a query here, which has come in from Adam Penny, of course, the big spender.
The great man.
He would, and you'd be well positioned to judge this. Other than Josh Pringle, is Luke Nitsky the best Lobethal player of all time?
Oh, that's a big spender. You've been thinking about that all day. It's a good question. I mean, Lobethal have had they've had some stars over the years. You got to look at the Kings and the Zillas and those sort of guys, and even the Clemens, they were fantastic players. Randall Weeks, they've had a lot of solid citizens.
The great Mitchie Weeks, of course.
Oh, the great Mitchie, yes.
Just
the A-team.
Cut down this, yes.
The A-team.
The A-team, yes.
The A-team.
Good on the field and good in the broadcast box.
Exactly. But look, it's a fair point. It's worth debate, and he'd certainly be up there, I would think. But Lobethal have been renowned for a lot of good local lads over the years that have.
I'll tell you what, perhaps if we get Adam Penny to send in just his CV on Joshy Pingle, and we can actually compare the.
Well,
if you know what I mean. So,
Joshy'd
Spender to give you something to do tonight. Send it in tomorrow.
Joshy'd be in the top 105, I reckon.
I'd think so. Yeah.
Talking of who's in the top 105.
Yes, we'll go down for the final time today for the boys, and the stats that matter.
Here's 105 of the best.
The toe cutter Indy 500 and Jaden J. So down to you boys.
All right, so I'll start us off. It was a nice, clean, high-scoring game of football overall. You can't really deny that. And again, beaten, not smashed. The only stat that Onka seemed to really be smashed in a number that was above 20 was hit-outs. Minus 30 in that area. But honestly, not too bad. Again, I really liked Onka's inside grunt and pressure. Weber and Chipiana were really good in the first half. But I reckon, no pun intended, the chip got a little soggy in the second half. Not as many disposals. That last quarter just a bit quiet from him as well. And the tackle pressure from all of the Onka's midfielders just eased off a little bit in that second half. I reckon what happens is as the game continues on, that inside grunt starts to soothe out. And really what matters more are those very clever, well-composed plays. And Lobethal delivered that in spades. That's why they were the winning team today. But again, Onkas have got a lot of promising signs to look at as well. They didn't get smashed in any of the major stats, although I reckon just maybe a bit of catch-up to do in inside 50s and tackles. They've never been a field-dominating team, Onkas, and they seem to let Lobethal score too easily from their back half of all places. But again, not a bad performance. 18 disposals for Tim Weber, Chipiana, 19 disposals and 5 tackles. You've got some impressive talent here, and Onkas still have plenty to use in this final series. It's just about improving from this afternoon of football. But again, we got to look at the bright side of things. Jaden and Lobethal.
Thanks, Indy. So, great outcome for Lobethal here. So, they had 96 tackles and they had 53 hit-outs, 162 kicks as well to round it out to 101 handballs and 63 marks. So, 263 disposals so far. They were just too good in the end, Lobethal. Just in that second half of that third quarter, they did drop off a little bit and Onkas got back in the game, but it was really good in the end for Lobethal to get that win. And just like Aiden Riley, just at crucial stages, he got the clearances from stoppages, got those handballs, got those kicks. And Tim Jenkins had 17 kicks for the game, boys. He was just really good off half-back. Like Colo said, like with Elliott and Stafford as well. They were just too good today, Lobethal. They ran it through the middle and they were just too good today. Here's some record stats here. So they've broken a 2,198 day drought of a finals win. So that was in the qualifying final in 2014. So there's a stat for you boys. And Onkas have conceded 100 points twice this year, and it's both against Lobethal. So that's a worrying sign against Lobethal in defence for Onkas. And also it is that rounds out to the head-to-head between qualifying finals for second versus third. That's a 5th win for second, so in the qualifying final. So there's the stats for you boys.
How good's that? Well done, mate.
That is just, that is
2,198 days. Is that what it
that's
was?
just cream de la cream.
Two
Isn't it?
short of 2,200.
Wow, that is
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Gee.
So it has been Lobethal 15-10-100 defeating Onka Valley 11-12-78, and just quickly some of the multiple goal kickers for the Tigers: Osborne with 3, Fisher 2, Fuller 2, Dorr with 2, Hopgood with 2, and for the Doggies, Peter, Mayo, Clarissa and Bilby with 2 apiece. But just quickly, Shane Collins, just for a quick wrap, and obviously as a Doggies man you'd be a bit disappointed, but the Tigers just right from the get-go were too good.
Yeah, they were. Their pressure and their ball use was far too good for Onkas today. Yeah, you've probably got to be a bit of a realistic. Even though Onkas played in the grand final last year, you do have to look through their list. They are still young. They are developing. And, once again, I think this time last year we said, wow, young Kuiper's come into the A grade, come into finals. He hasn't missed a game since. And today we saw Phoenix Lions come in and only his second ever game. And they're still developing some young kids. Apart from Ben Jeffries, there's not a player in their back six that's over 20. So, Blake Fanning did play back there today, so he is a little bit older. But they've got a lot of young kids in there, and they are still learning, and they're trying to build something, long term, which, today's a little hiccup for them, and they'll need to bounce back next week to probably... I would think if they go down next week, the season's probably been a bit of a failure, and that'll disturb Coach Paul Tanner, but I think they could bounce back as well. Their best is good enough. We saw glimpses of it today, but unfortunately Lobethal's pressure, and then when the ball was in their hand, they used it far better than Onkas did. So full credit to the Tigers, and I'm already looking forward to next Saturday. I can't wait. I mean, I think Lobethal, they'll have the bit between their teeth from the last time they played Hahndorf.
I'll see if I can get a comment from Matt Fuller.
Yeah, see if you can get something that might poke the bear. I bet you come back with no comment.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to next week's game already, so that'll be a beauty.
Absolutely. We're certainly looking forward to tomorrow's game as well, and a big weekend of footy coverage here on Hills Footy Media, because Super Sunday, and as we bring you the special Father's Day edition of the Call of the Wild, Arkabar Oval in Heathfield, an elimination final between Mount Barker and Blackwood, so obviously one of them will drop out of the chase, and the winner will play Onka Valley. So that just about wraps it up here. As we just repeat, Lobethal 15-10 have defeated Onka Valley 11-12 in the qualifying final here. And just recapping out at Kersbrook Oval, the semi-final, Birdwood 10-10 have defeated the reigning premier Gummaraka 7-7. So 21-point margin to the Roosters, Goldie. So our mate Froggy Luckle and Barchi, they'll be pretty happy.
So they'll play the winner of Kangaroo and Kersbrook. And then someone else will come in. We'll work it out.
Just check your local guys.
We'll let you know next week.
Yeah, we'll let you know who's playing. When you get there, you know who's playing.
I think the Chook raffle's Wednesday night to find out who's playing where.
Exactly,
we'll find out.
Exactly. And speaking of which, don't forget during the week, Hills Footy Unplugged, but we'll certainly talk about that
a couple of good
tomorrow.
big guests this week, I hear too.
We have
pretty exciting.
We have got some big guests, which we'll probably relate to.
And I hear the return of the mullet file. We might have another mullet
Yes, we have tracked down a mullet.
Beautiful.
Probably, cabbage area of the hills.
Cabbage area.
They grow good cabbages. They might grow good mullets there. So
I'm excited by that already.
We are indeed. So anyway, once again, thanks to Jaden and Indy for their good work at ground level. Thanks to Flynn, the cameraman, who does all the good work. And of course, Dallas Rogers, our producer, who does a fantastic job each and every week. And of course, the great support we get from Interactive Sports, Mortgage Choice, Dartfish, LA Star Buses, Jarrett, Nissan, Business Plaza, and Chris Shore Accounting. So, on behalf of the team,
just to you, Jeffrey, and just to you, and all the dads out there, happy Father's Day tomorrow. We hope everyone has a lovely breakfast in bed, and the kids jump on the bed and say good day and all that nice stuff. But yeah, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there tomorrow.
Yeah, certainly. Yes, we can support that chain. That's for
Even
Yeah,
the
tomorrow.
even the grandfathers, like like yourself, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. That's all, guys. All right, Benny Goldfinch, thank you once again for your input. And Shane Collins, really good stuff. Unfortunately, your boys couldn't get over the line, but they live to fight another day. And we'll be looking very keenly for your consultancy work tomorrow in the Kurt Fraser at Arkabar Oval.
The Tigers and the Doggies go at
Once
it again.
again, yes, the local derby. So thank you to do. All right. This has been Pistols signing off from the Blackwood Oval, where, as we said, that's been a good win for the Tigers. We'll catch you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Don't forget, Call to Wild Sunday edition elimination final. Blackwood and Mount Barker fight to stay round in the fight for the crown. So until then, keep on chasing your goals, and we'll catch you next time on Hills Footy Media.